Not even close.
Look at this.
No.
Mr. Billy.
No.
You're British,
Dude,
Matt, not American.
the guy I work with is easily 3 of you.
Yeah.
Easily.
I mean, it's a terrible fucking stereotype, but I went to a fucking CVS in America the last time I was there, and the first thing I walked into was a lady that was so overweight that she could not walk. She was in a power chair, and I'm like, yeah, I'm in America.
Yeah. I seen a few of them when I was there as well.
Like,
first.
I know this analogy doesn't translate well, but this guy is wider than a Ford F-150. This guy's wider than a pickup truck. Literally.
So he's Harley from Lost. Has to pay for 2 seats.
I didn't see Lost. Hold on. Let's see. No, this guy makes Hurley from Lost look anorexic.
That's a fucking image, man. Holy shit.
Listen.
You
listen,
remember the new Paribos?
The what?
Yes.
Oh, right.
That.
Yeah. Okay. I'm all set up.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Helps if I actually log in.
You know, these things, this thing.
Yes.
This thing
yes.
that I used to be, that I when I weighed like 420 fucking pounds.
Listen. I can't even, hold on, I can't even find an image of how big this guy is for reference.
Are we missing Mom?
Even at my worst, I
We
was
are
not
missing
ever
Mom.
that bad.
I don't know why she's not here, because she literally just came in here to talk to me.
Probably waiting on things booting up.
I'll go find her. Also, apparently I need to watch the anime To Your Eternity.
I don't know, we're too involved with Wonder Egg priority right now.
Oh, I need to catch up on that.
Oh, I've heard about this. This anime is apparently very, very sad.
Do we really need more crippling depression? I think that's actually the one thing we're missing right now this season.
There's a significant
Well,
amount
yeah,
of
now that
crippling
ReZero's
depression.
over.
I can maybe just enjoy the lack of crippling depression. Like,
I've heard it's
with
good,
graphic last season.
but I've heard it's sad. It's apparently about like this immortal being that can like adopt like new forms as it goes through life, and like at one point it like becomes this boy that's looking for his dog, and then the kid dies, so he becomes the dog, and like it's a whole fucking just like sad cavalcade of people dying around this thing that can't die, and it feeling bad about still being alive. So, you know, happy things.
No. No, that is not happy. I've had enough sadness from playing Spiritfarer lately.
Yeah, I hear that game is a lot.
Hi, Mom.
Hello.
Hello.
Alright.
Should I make an egg in a basket grilled cheese?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh my god, that
sounds
sounds
amazing.
delightful. Toad in a whole sandwich.
Yes.
Okay, so last thing I remember,
Uh-huh.
and that I actually, because I rewatched what I missed when I passed out.
Before you started passing out in your chair.
It's really funny. You can see the exact moment. Like, I literally sat there chatting to people, coming back and forward, and then you see the exact moment where I just pass out because the tab goes back by mistake, and the mouse just like slowly drags down the screen.
You fucking piece of shit. I love it.
But we were going in, well, some people went into the laboratory room.
Yes. A few individuals had gone into the laboratory. You and Rhea, it looks like we're still kind of standing in that watery shrine area surrounded by the multi-armed skeletons that had assaulted you when you returned. and Vert and Siani had
We
advanced
found drugs.
somewhat further into the complex and had narrowly avoided setting off a tripwire trap, and then found a sarcophagus that had been converted to the process of growing weird exotic plants in a red colored quote unquote brine.
I dislike that that's called a brine.
Yes, well.
I mean,
That-
technically,
that-
blood is a brine. Blood is a little salty.
I mean, yeah, it makes me uncomfortable. In a ew sort of way.
Yeah, I mean that's what we call a whole ass mood.
Is that up there along with the word moist?
I don't know why everyone hates that word so much.
I
I
don't
know,
know.
right?
There was a Harvard study on the effects of words on different people's emotions, and by far, females dislike the word moist more than any other word.
What the fuck else are you gonna call a good cake?
You know, she has a point.
There's a joke there about fillings, but
Oh,
Oh god.
no!
Moving right along.
Get your mind out of the gutter. Yeah. So, I guess, Ba, Lucina, you have seen the corpse laid out on the operating table in the laboratory with all of its internal organs carefully removed and laid arrayed next to the table with little labels on them about like what the name of the organ is and what its theoretical purpose in the body is. There's a lot of like alchemical supplies and laboratory equipment like on the other table. This is clearly the room in which the two necromancers you fought were doing work. And there's that tank I think you figured out last time that is full of like methane gas that they were
Yeah.
apparently using to pump into those fire-breathing zombies that you really hate.
Yeah.
So I guess, are you going to continue poking around in here, or are you going to rejoin the rest of the party?
Was there any value in that other table? Because it was like alchemical stuff in there. Like, really-
Yeah, there's like, I think I have it noted down is about like 125 gold pieces worth of just generic alchemical foofera.
I mean, I'll grab that shit. No point in letting it go to waste. Are we want to destroy this fucking room or what? Or are we just going to leave it?
I mean, realistically, you could probably destroy this laboratory if you were to, pierce that tank and throw a match into the room.
Oh god, are we gonna cause another roof collapse?
Yeah. I mean, fuck the bathhouse, right? Goodbye, guys.
On a separate but related note, just because I know you all want to laugh at me for something, I did manage to just spill an entire carton of sour cream all over my refrigerator.
Oh,
Good job.
what a smell, man.
How did you
Yeah.
manage that?
I was trying to pull out the eggs, and the sour cream came with it.
You're trying to pull out.
It
You're
didn't
full
have a
of
riddle?
Yeah, my pull-out game was weak.
Can we stop going back to the moist shit? We can't do
Moist,
this.
Fridge is creamed, you know.
Yep.
An average day for a bard.
Fuck's sake. Yeah, so do you want to cause a cave-in? Because, like,
Well,
it is
I mean,
within
like,
your power.
I am, like, bringing it up to Lucina, and I guess Ray who's made his way over here. Like, do you guys think it's a good idea? Because I'm all for blowing shit up.
No.
No? Okay.
I walk in and have horrific flashbacks to the cave-in.
Yeah.
It's like,
Sorry, he's not there to ask, luckily.
And I do believe that last time you said you had said last rites for this corpse already, Lucina.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, yeah, aside from the handful of like valuable materials that are you find in the laboratory, there's not much else to find here because I had thought to put Jalem's useful information on his person, and Flennis's useful information was in her spell book, which you have already claimed. So,
Yeah.
aside from a few other research notes about necromancy, which I'm sure is a thing that Lucina is, you're probably none too keen on.
Burn it all, but not blow up the basement. Look,
All right.
let's
Cool.
take it outside, and then we can make a bonfire out of all the necromancy information.
Right, cool. I'm with you.
Excellent.
At
Oh,
the
so I'll
very
just grab
least, do
the-
it on our way out.
Yeah, I'll just grab the bottles of shit and we can like probably sell them at the house of wonders or whatever.
Yeah. While Rhea out here in the hallway kind of steps over these corpses that have just been left here and kind of pokes her head around the corner, and she's like, Ray, where did Siani and Vert go?
I turn to her and I'm like,
On
oh,
an adventure!
I'm sure they'll be fine. Like, I mean, it's Bert. Worst case scenario, we'd hear a loud roar.
I guess that's probably fair. So yeah, we cut back over to the two of you, and you have found this old ancient tomb, and as I said, has been desecrated, and it had there was like a mummy that is laying in this red blood brine with like two moonstones like set into its eye sockets. And there is a gaping hole in its chest where its heart seems to have been extracted, and then just kind of like growing around it in the tank, there are these kind of like lotus looking like lily pad style flowers, which you understand to be Invress, and then there is the like fleshwort that is growing up out of like probably like part of the corpse's like shoulder or whatever.
Yes, I've already taken it. It's mine. It's mine.
Yeah, and it looks like somebody was doing a very like careful job of like tending this bizarre little garden. And at some point someone came through here and like definitely must have removed something else from like the mummy's chest, but they left the moonstones in the eyes, which are at least like somewhat valuable if you wanted to
Which we want.
reach in there and grab them before mom shows up to stop you.
Ooh, good call. I will let Siani have first dibs though, since I'm taking the plants.
Not comfortable of taking things out of corpses' eye sockets.
I am.
Then, by all means.
I've had it, my dude.
I will take the moonstones out of the corpse's eye sockets, as Siani so
Yes.
delicately.
The mummy is inanimate and does not protest this situation. Each of the moonstones are worth 50 gold pieces.
Nice. Or I can turn them into something beautiful. Like bullets. Moonstone bullets. What properties do moonstone bullets have?
I don't know. You'd have to be fighting a very specific kind of creature to be weak to moonstone.
All I know is that Moonstone is my birthstone.
Is it really?
It
They're very
is.
pretty.
It is the alternate birthstone for June.
I think the alternate birthstone for March is the bloodstone. Yeah, so it's like if you imagine, I guess, like in the Discord channel, something like this sheen and like opalescence like shoved into the mummy's eyes.
I wonder what... I should say this in character. I wonder what the purpose of these are. I mean, why would someone go through the trouble putting them in the eyes? Why couldn't they just leave them empty?
It is entirely possible it was a death ritual. Like the way sometimes coins are placed on eyes as a price of passage to the next world.
It's a D&D Red Dragon reference. That's all it is.
Yes. Yes, but they obviously don't have any reverence for these corpses. So why the pomp and ceremony?
That is a good question. And I'm not sure one we would get an answer to, at least not easily. We'd need to find out who did it, or it's to speak to the dead.
I can speak to animal.
Excuse me, sorry.
Speaking of which, does Rat Friend have anything to say about this?
Oh yeah, we completely forgot about that rat. Did you take him with you when you left the dungeon the first time? I
of course.
completely forgot about him.
Of course.
Okay.
What
so
better
you-
way to torment a noble than to bring a literal rat into his house and have it eat his food?
So have you just been keeping him in your pack then?
In my pocket, yeah.
Sure.
Just been,
Okay.
like, sitting out the fucking chest pocket.
Yeah.
Pop his head out every now and again.
So you bring Rat Friend back out then, and
Yeah.
spend the 10 minutes to adopt rat speak or whatever. Okay.
It'll be great. It's worth it.
Yeah, so he scrambles out onto your shoulder or onto your hand or whatever, and he's kind of looking around and sniffing the air, and he's kind of little rat whiskers are kind of twitching, and kind of looks at you yeah, what do you want?
What do you know about this corpse?
Rat kind of turns and looks at it and tilts his head. It's not good to eat. I know that.
Do you know how long it's been here?
God, the lifespan of a rat's not terribly long, is it?
Mhm.
It's a few years.
Yeah, maybe 6 or 7 years.
Yeah,
Probably less in the wild.
It kind of tilts his head back and forth, and he's just as long as the nest has been here, yes. Longer than the people that came.
Really? That's
Yeah.
interesting.
And
how long?
He nods, and he's just long time.
And how long have the people been here?
And the problem is the rat doesn't have a concept of time, right? The way you do. So it's probably many meals. One cold, one ice.
How many breedings?
Yeah. Several breedings. Basically if you put it together based off of its seasons in terms of the actual change of seasons, it's probably been maybe a year or less that the humans have been doing stuff in this dungeon, but that's way less time than the rat's nest has been here.
Okay.
And I think he also probably tells you that there was a gap in time, right? Where he's people came, workers, tools, clearing the sewer, found temple. And it's struggling with the words, right? Because it doesn't really understand common either, and you're having to try to kind of interpret this.
Squeaking.
Yeah. I have to. In my head, I'm imagining Ciata. You're watching as Vert's holding this rat in his hand and is just chittering, at the rat, and the rat is like chittering back. But yeah, you get
interspersed with, oh, really?
yeah, you get the idea that like people with tools came and were like fixing something, or were like repairing or clearing out like tunnels and like the sewers or something, and like accidentally like opened a hole into this temple that was like big enough for people to come in and out of, because the rats were already able to come in and out because they could fit through tiny spaces. And then those people left, and then like the rats were alone in the temple again for a while, and then like new people came, and the new people were dressed differently and had weapons and like did stuff that was like it smelled bad and it was weird and it did bad things, and they hurt each other deliberately for some reason.
That's okay, because basically I can get the gist that the cult's only been here like maybe a year max, right?
Yeah.
So that's interesting.
This wouldn't be the strangest thing Sayani has seen this conversation.
So it's equally likely then that the moonstones and like the treatment of the corpse, like in a long way around, is like something that was done the first time around. This temple was like an actual place of worship and like in interment for the dead, and then whatever has happened since is like a new thing.
The weirdness.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's
Me-
cool. Rat.
I was gonna say, in the meantime, while it takes you 10 minutes to cast that ritual and have that conversation, like theoretically the rest of the party could be catching up if you guys would like to kind of like link back up or not.
Well, I mean,
Pro-
Rhea has been sitting trying to find out where the hell you are, so I assume that
Yeah.
Probably.
during this conversation and you putzing around, we've had a wander. We're trying to convince Bosing Ba, like, no, don't blow up. Bad.
Alright, I guess I'm getting ushered out of here by Mum, so I'm not left behind in the room alone. Right, let's go.
There's a D17 in this room.
Yeah, that's the room marker, so that I could remember what room key that was. Yeah, so out in the hallway,
So we'll come come around the
you-
corner, and I just point to Rhea and just go, look, see, I told you they'd be fine.
yeah,
And I'm gonna look around the corner and motion to Rhea to be cautious of the trap.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
right, and she looks down and she's like, oh dear, and kind of like turns to the those of you following, and she's like, there's a tripwire here, be cautious.
Oh, no.
And then she kind of like goes ahead and like steps over it and like catches up to you guys. She's like, so have you found anything of note while you've been over here? We've been rifling through a laboratory.
Another sarcophagus.
And a mummy.
And a mummy.
Kind of makes a face and then like glances past you down to the end of the hallway. And she's like, have you...
Meanwhile, Verita's been having a chat with his, she'll gesture at the rat and just finish up with friend.
Yeah, confused face, staring at the rat, and then looking at Vert, and then...
Look at the rat, now back to me, now back to the rat, now back to me.
Yeah.
I'm on a horse.
Right, rangers and druids, and she just kind of like rubs her forehead a little bit, like...
Apparently, the cult is only here about a year. Perhaps less.
Well, I suppose that might answer to why their activities have gone unnoticed in Baldur's Gate until their recent unpleasant behavior.
It also means that they've been preparing this for at least a year in advance.
Hmm. Yeah, that too. And she kind of looks back to Lucina and Ray and Bosing Ba, and she's just like, "What do you make of this?"
I'll just sit here and go, you said there was a mummy.
Yes.
Yes, I'm also interested in the mummy.
It's in there.
What did you do anything with it?
It had plants growing. I like
And
plants.
jewels in its eyes.
Just plants.
Remember,
Oh, but-
Sayani doesn't like lying.
You get narked on.
I'm just saying I jump over the fucking tripwire. I don't walk through it.
I love how you said, I like ever since they mentioned the tripwire and like Rhea going first, the first thing my first thought was, oh no, he's just gonna walk right past her.
It's been pointed out to me quite clearly, so no.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just gonna keep going down the hall carefully.
I'm just gonna chat to Deert and just be like, hang on a second, aren't mummies supposed to like come back to life in Faerun? Isn't that a thing? I
That's
sing lots of
zombie.
songs about
Are
them.
not zombies?
Maybe you
Yeah.
should keep an eye on it then.
But you have its eyes, apparently.
I don't.
Oh.
Just plants.
People keep trying to narc to Mom, and he's just, it's just plants, I swear.
I've seen this movie. It ends horribly. You probably should not take eyes from a mummy.
So, the room to your south there, Siani,
Here, if people want to
appears
go in.
appears to be another crypt with a sarcophagus in it. The sarcophagus in this room has remained sealed. The facing of the sarcophagus is carved with ghastly images of human cannibalism. But
Lovely.
Really?
and it seems like there might have been something like shuffling around in this room at one point because the dust on the floor has been like disturbed. But whatever it was is no longer in the room. And then
Sayani's going to just examine the carvings, frown, and then walk away.
Real quick, before we go in, I just want to posit to everyone that isn't it kind of weird that the cult's been here a year, right? I know it's only been a year, but it's still been a year. But wasn't this whole cult thing set off by what happened in Elturel? How would they know to gather here?
No, the Elturel was just a part of it. They've been sitting here stewing on it for a
They've
while.
probably
I thought.
been set up here, and whatever fucking ritual was having to be done to like make it happen at Eldrall. If you know what I mean. I don't know.
yeah, if perhaps if Elturel were, I think what you're getting at is if Elturel was like the plan, then like they
Yeah.
were
Yeah,
they were
the-
setting
yeah.
up like sleeper cells ahead of time so that when like the big thing happens, then all of the other shit kicks off like at the
Yeah.
same time.
I mean, we should go back to Elturel then and scout and see if there's cult stuff there.
The crater, you mean?
Yeah, there's nothing. Like there's literally nothing. It got ripped out of the ground.
Yeah, like
It had a fucking molten sun drop on it, pretty much. Like,
the city is gone. It is definitely like a nuclear bomb style or like Death of the Dinosaurs style blast crater. There are like small outlying villages that like surround
the one we started
Elturel,
in.
like the one you started in, but like a lot of those people that witnessed the destruction of the city like are the same people that are the
The
hordes of refugees that are clogging the outsides of Baldur's Gate. Right?
Yeah, I apologize. I assumed that we had started in Elturel, not a suburb. So what I mean is
right,
check
right,
the
right.
suburbs.
Yeah. No, That's fair. Like, it would be a huge undertaking to go searching through all of those areas, but like, it's not beyond the pale if something like this is happening in Baldur's Gate to imagine that something like this is happening in other places on the Sword Coast as well, right? Like,
Yeah.
It's
So I would
just one city, basically.
Yeah, I would just posit that to the group and see what they think.
I give a. I understand where Fiert's coming from, but shouldn't we deal with the problem at hand first before this becomes another Eltro?
What makes you think it will be?
The letters, the
The
notes,
letters.
the heavy implication
we've
they want to do
captured.
what happened with Elturel.
The soul coins.
And just the general calamity of everything we've found so far.
Whatever game is going on, it is much bigger than one nation.
indeed.
What's in this room here?
Ah, that room. Let me, 1, look at my room key, and 2, open the door for you.
Quick, get on the floor.
Everybody do the dinosaur.
Oh, another
Uh,
collapsed room.
Much of this room has fallen in, and the debris field mostly buries the lone stone sarcophagus that was looted many years ago. Nothing of interest
Aw, poor
remains.
Baw.
There's
something
another
Is-
to the
is this a
north,
room
and
up
then
here?
The one...
Oh, up here?
Yeah.
Ta-da!
Get out, this is my room.
this is my room. Comfy, cozy.
Just close the door on him.
Yes.
But no. Yeah, so then at the end of the hall here, as you enter this room, the walls and floors of this room are covered with streaks and splashes of dried blood. 2 dangling bodies are shackled to the east wall. One is an elderly male human, and the other is a young female tiefling. Both are covered in bloody gashes, and neither is moving. In the middle of the room is a sturdy wooden chair bolted to the floor with a bloody whip draped over it. A bucket half filled with salt sits on the floor nearby.
Ooh, salt.
I will
Nab.
motion to Lucy. She's probably going to want to perform rites.
Unless they're not dead.
Oh, they look pretty dead.
They look pretty
Yeah.
dead.
Are they dead though?
You could
Or
make
are
a
they
medicine.
just
You could make a medicine check to determine more about their state.
or are they just mostly dead? Mostly dead is still slightly alive.
Let us see here. I heard the bloop.
Oh,
Yeah,
I'm
they
asking
are.
to assist with that, but
Oh yeah, if you would like, you can assist.
oh, never mind.
Oh, Vert's. So
Barrett's got it.
yeah. Here's my question for you, Lucina. Why is Vert? Because you're the healer in the party. Are you just like upset by what you're seeing? Are you just kind of like off balance because of everything that's been happening? What is it about this situation that like you're able to determine that they're dead, but like clearly Vert is like getting more information out of this than you are at the moment? Is there something that's upsetting your character, or
Probably flustered by being surrounded by the smell of death and other things in sewers.
Maybe the
yes.
obvious signs of torture.
I'm gonna posit
That
one.
too.
Yeah, I'm gonna posit one more thing that might interest Lucina and might give her some background. Is that one of these is a tiefling,
Yeah, that is problematic.
and tieflings are half demons. And we
Or
know Wirt's a
devils.
demon hunter. Oh, you know what I mean, devil hunter.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, and we know he's looking for ways to understand them. So,
Yes.
and
Well,
he does like Lucina an awful lot for some reason. So,
That's-
So.
horrifying. So yeah, Lucina, you are able to determine that they are both dead, and they both likely succumbed to their torture wounds. There, upon examination, you are able to more accurately determine that yes, they did suffer greatly, and the old man at least did die of his torture wounds, and he probably died a little while ago, like days ago, and they've just left him hanging. The tiefling, on the other hand, you notice there is a small like long knife wound in her side that slips in between her ribs and goes straight for the heart. And she has probably only been dead for 8 hours.
Before we got here, though.
Like she died while you all were sleeping.
Okay.
Ooh.
Like what? Like while we were sleeping in the mansion before we started.
In the
Yes.
noble's
So,
house, like when you
after
left.
we left the last time.
Oof. That's
Yeah.
rough, buddy.
Yeah, I was just thinking that myself. Ooh. Guilt. Feel guilty. I'm sorry.
She was like tortured, but whatever killed her was like quick and efficient and
As if they'd got what they
probably
wanted out of her.
probably actually put her out of her misery.
Wait a minute. Hold on.
Yeah.
I have another question that I'm sure I'm going to have to roll for, which is, does that mean there was somebody still in here when we left? Can I make like a survival check to see if there are fresher tracks than
Yes.
when we left?
You can. Yeah. So you like this. The thought dawns on you, and you're looking around. You're just scanning the floor. Oh my god, is this one of those things where like Vert gets down on like his hands and knees and starts like checking
Yeah.
the floor?
Yeah.
Oh, that's so wonderful. Yeah, and you're like looking around and you kind of like look from one doorway to the other and like you notice a couple of like copper pieces like on the floor, like coins, right? And like you notice like a distinctive pattern in the dust of like a group of people, and like some of them had like much heavier footsteps than others because they must have been carrying something. And I think it dawns on you that like after you left, whoever was still down here must have like evacuated.
I will let the group know. There were people down here when we left still. It looks like they left in a hurry, carrying something heavy. Can I tell where they left from? Is it the door behind me?
So as far as you can tell, they came from this way and they left the way you all have come in.
That's something I had feared. But I don't think we had the ability to go on.
We were looking pretty rough. Still, it's kind of sticks in the teeth though. Like
I'll just stand at the door, just like, well, you know, it was either we go in here and we die ourselves, or we come back more prepared. It's not great, but it could have been 5 people instead of just 1.
Yeah.
What's
6
Lucy's
people instead of
own
just 1. My bad.
logic.
Yeah,
But still.
what's Lucina's take on all that?
She is solemnly performing last rites and has a very distinct angry expression on her face as she does so.
Yeah, to kind of mirror like Lucina's expression, I think Rhea probably also has this very like determined, like fixed look on her face, and she kind of like steps up behind the group and she's just like if Vert is as good of a tracker as he seems to be, we might still be able to pursue the escapees, but
It's not that easy. It's one thing to find tracks in a dusty old tomb. It's something much different to track people on foot through a paved city, as I have found.
yeah, and she kind of makes a face at that. Like, she was really hoping, like, you would be, like, the silver bullet to this situation, because it's like, obviously this cult has killed people who were, like, ostensibly her friends, or, like, were related to the knightly order that she is an active member of, right?
Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely willing to try, but I'm also not gonna like lie to. I'm not gonna just give
Make
her
no
the
promises.
yeah the
Yeah.
rose-colored glasses. Like, listen, you're asking me to track people on foot in a city.
No.
Yeah.
Like, if we were in the woods, cool, no
Yeah.
problem. But you got to get your expectations in line.
Yeah, and she kind of, like, lets out a heavy sigh then, and she's like, so, should we
We might have more luck at
continue
looking
and...
around, you know? Looking where they came from, and we might find some clues to where they are, or if there's any more places like this we can look into.
Yeah, she nods, and she's like, that's a very sensible, yes, I think... And she just, like, continues, like, nodding, like, what are you gonna do?
Mm.
She's kind of
Yeah.
depending on all of you as, like, you are collectively the adults in the room.
Mm.
Fuck.
Wow, she's fucked.
Yeah.
That's rough,
She
buddy.
kind of is. She kind of is. That's rough, buddy. That's a brickin'. So yeah, you've got another. Yeah, there is another exit, just north of Vert there, and the hallway takes a bit of a turn.
I want that salt.
I mean, yes, you can grab the bucket of salt if you would like.
I would like.
What is your passive perception?
Me?
12.
16.
Master Ball.
12.
Okay, and what is yours, Ray?
Where do I see this again?
It's down at the bottom of your skills.
I think Lucina's is like 20.
Yes, it is.
Passive perception? Why?
Yeah.
I got
Like
passive wisdom perception. That's what you're looking for.
Yeah.
12.
Okay. Both of you, I think, notice that there is, like, the smallest amount of, like, dampness. Like, have you ever seen water, like, seeping into a basement? Like, at your feet there, kind of at the bottom of those stairs. Oh, and then there's also these footsteps, like...
Yeah.
It's a moistness.
Moister than an oyster.
Moister than an oyster.
God.
And those footprints on the floor, those are caked dried blood.
Well then. I guess I'll just shout back and say we've got like bloody footprints up here. They seem kind of sus. I'm gonna follow them.
So yeah, Bosing Bog begins marching down the hallway, following the bloody footprints. Lucina, you also notice the seeping, like, gross wetness on the floor, but your passive is like huge big, right? Like,
Yeah, it's 20.
You know, or something.
yeah. So you notice two things, I think. So like I said, this area that that square that you're standing in has a bit of, like, seepage coming from under, like, the north wall. And you notice that particular section of wall is like it seems like
Moisture.
there should be, like, a doorway or something there. It occurs to you as you kind of, like, stare at it, just based off of the way the stones are laid. But there's not. And then the other thing that you notice is that the texture of the stone is very weird. Like, it seems a little, like... I'm trying to think of how to describe this without giving away what's going on, and it's very difficult. But, like it seems fake, right? Like, it seems like it's the best approximation of stone that they could do, but it's not all the way there, but it's very, very close. And then the last thing that you notice is there is a small, like bit of like string, or something that is like formed into a loop that is hanging out of like a small like gap-like hole in the wall.
I'm gonna pull the string.
Okay. So you grab it with your, you like loop your finger through it and pull on it.
Yeah.
Okay, so you loop your finger through like the loop of string and you start to tug, and it like it won't come away from the wall. Like you pull and you pull, but it's like very soundly stuck. What do you do?
Hold on, I'm seeing what I have prepared. And I do not have anything good prepared for this. The string is by where the fake wall.
Yeah,
is.
it's like emerging out of the fake wall.
All right. Okay, we're firebolting the string.
Okay. So you hit. I'm gonna need you to roll damage.
Oh,
1.
My God. So this is where things get weird.
This is where things get weird. Okay.
Alright.
Well, hang on. Let me explain.
It's a mimic wall.
So you firebolt the wall, and there is this horrifying screeching sound as the fire screeches across the surface of the wall, and like lips and like a mouth form, and it like spits out the thing
Fuck,
that
I
was
was
in its
kidding,
mouth.
Marcus. I was
Which
kidding.
is this little holy symbol, like a pomander or whatever, like a necklace that's got like a kind of like fragrant like potpourri in it or whatever, that's like on a string that was in its mouth, and it spits it out, and it just kind of like it hits you in the chest, and then like 6 eyes on the wall all open up, and it begins extruding pseudopods and is like reaching towards you.
Uh,
Boy.
can I rush in to slash the pseudopods to protect mom?
I'm unfortunately, this is going to be an initiative situation.
I
Let
was
me
kidding
clear the
about the
order.
mimic, you monster.
I already had it prepared. You weren't supposed to guess.
Fuck off.
And then I guess I should get Rhea. She's probably back here with Vert still.
Nice.
Alright.
That
so
token looks fucking wild, by the way.
Oh yeah, this thing.
Oh my god.
Oh, Mom, what did you do?
So Siani, you see just a few feet away from you, Lucina firebolts the wall. The wall spits something at her and then begins extruding pseudopods and a long, like pinkish purple tongue, and it's reaching towards your friend, and like there's like this kind of like goopy saliva like dripping out of its mouth, and where the saliva is like hitting the floor, like it's kind of pitting the stone.
Lovely.
What do you do?
So I have that staff that's made out of vines, right?
Yes.
Can I unravel that thing and use it to try and yank Lucina back?
I
out of
don't
its
see why
reach.
not. You could theoretically, I think you could like non-lethally use
Yeah.
the effect of Thorn Whip, which like lets you like pull things towards you. Like I don't see why you couldn't do that. I guess give me an attack roll with Thorn Whip and just let's see if you hit Lucina's armor class or not.
Okay. Just to pull her out of harm's way.
Yeah. No.
Oh.
Yeah, so
fucking womp.
it's a good idea for sure, but I think what happens here is you kind of like you whip the rope out to try to like grab a hold of Lucina, and it's just that like there is someone between you and her, so like you wind up with like this vine whip thing like kind of draped over like Ray's like head and shoulder instead.
There's a small moment of it's got me! It's got me! Oh, okay.
The weapon. She's getting used to it.
Ah, the mimic's got me. Oh, wait, fuck, it's just you, Siani. God damn, don't do that to me.
Yeah, and I think Rhea, who's wearing her like weird dark vision goggles or whatever, is kind of like looking ahead, and she sees you kind of like throwing your rope out, and she's just like, Siani, what's happening?
Wall with teeth on wall.
Oh, a what?
Just a small echo of about time, get in here!
She moves up, and she's just like, oh my goodness! She'll like pull out her bow and try to shoot past you at the wall mimic, I guess.
She's firing a bow.
You're listening close to you can hear a ticket screeching on the other side of the Discord. Beatrice. Just,
It's made better because I've been playing Tales of Vesperia. Our pins are just too good for this.
She is not good at doing damage with her longbow, apparently. So, that was her turn. What is the door mimic going to do? Well,
What indeed?
I mean, unfortunately, Lucina, you are right there, but also so is Ray, and Ray is also in reach. So, one for Ray. Does a 21 hit your armor class?
Ha ha ha.
Do bears shit in the woods?
Take 10 points of bludgeoning damage.
Ow.
And then... Oh, actually, this thing is 10 feet of reach. It can hit Rhea, too. I'll hit her as well.
fuck.
She takes 10 points of damage as well, and then it's going to try to use its bite on Mom. I believe an 18 hits your armor class.
Yes, it does, and I will hellish rebuke.
Okay.
Nice.
It can't make a deck save, right? It's a door!
It does have a very bad dexterity score, so...
The door swings open and does.
Yeah, I mean, but it's a door!
The door does not make the save. The door takes 7 points of damage. And Lucina, if you would please take 4 points of piercing damage and 4 points of acid damage as the door bites you.
Oh my god.
As the door bites you.
And that was the door's turn.
Don't let the door hit you on the way out.
What are you doing, Mom? You've got an angry demon door trying to lick you.
Well, I'm going to use my inspiration that I've been holding on to and cast Inflict Wounds.
Oh yeah!
Wait. Why do you need to use inspiration for that?
She wants advantage.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You gave it the bad touch.
You have given it the bad touch.
And I'm saying fuck it and using a level 2 spell because why not?
Holy
Oh,
fuck!
yeah.
So 25 points of necrotic damage. Yeah, the creature like visibly recoils in horror as you reach out and have we seen your inflict wounds before?
Nope, this is
New
the
to
first
me.
time I've used it.
What does this look like? Ooh.
Okay, so what I picture in my mind is, like, you know when you piss your mom off and she gives you that look that's I'm not angry, I'm disappointed.
Right.
Couple that with a gentle caress and a little bit of disgust mixed in.
Oh no. So you give it the like the mom hand of like disgusted, like disappointed, quote unquote reassurance.
You fucking guilt this
So-
thing for
I was
25
thinking
So
more
it's
like
like the-
grabbing a child by the ear.
It's like the dad in American Pie when he walks in on the son with the dick in the pie.
And then you just pour necrotic energy into this thing, and like its whole body like visibly like goopily like tries to like recoil from your touch. Obviously this creature can't move very quickly, so you just like pump energy into it, and it lets out this horrible like shrieking wail, right? It did not like that at all.
Oh, there's more where that came from. Just wait.
Nobody liked that. So are you
I will
going to
turn this car around.
The
you
wall
gonna
mimic will
move
remember
or move or bonus action or anything else for your turn?
I am going to bonus action healing word myself.
Okay.
And I'm going to stay in front of it because I'm pissed at this thing now and I don't want it to get any of my children. My children are precious.
That's fair. All right, Vert. There's a horrible shrieking monster in the hallway. Apparently.
You doing okay up there?
Well, teeth.
I guess I'll just kind of saunter over, just kind of look around the corner. Does it look bad? Do they have it handled?
I mean, it's hard to say. Has Vert encountered mimics a lot in his life?
I don't know. Probably not. Mimics
Yeah.
aren't probably very common in the woods.
Oh, there is a woods kind of mimic. Let me tell you, it's called a wolf in sheep's clothing. But yeah, I mean, like it looks hurt. Whether or not they have it under control is another that's a whole other question entirely, right? Like this thing is big. It seems to have like a lot of reach, and like it's got acid like dripping out of its mouth. Like it's
Yeah, I'm just gonna walk back over here.
Oh my
Listen,
goodness.
listen. My options are shoot the guns, which I've already been yelled at for doing, or move out of the way. So I'm gonna move out of the way. I'm gonna loot this girl.
Fair enough. Okay.
Mom's busy. This is
Perfect timing, but I like your thinking.
All right, Baw, back to you then.
But I just heard about shrieks, so I'm just gonna be like, what the fuck was that? Oh my god, what the fuck is that?
Terrible. Terrifying.
So it's 5, 10, 15. Alright, so I'm just going to move up here and do like 2 attacks. What's that?
That will
Does
hit.
17
Yeah.
hit?
Sorry, I was checking something, but yeah, that will hit. I was looking at the attacks I gave this creature and wondering what's wrong with me.
we ask ourselves that every game.
And then... Oh, that'll fucking hit.
For sure. Another 9. Yeah, you So here's the fun thing about you hitting it with your quarterstaff and your mug, right? You get 2 good hits on it. You kind of like, I imagine you kind of like weave between or like next to Lucina's legs and just like bap bap and hit it, right?
Yeah.
Like its body feels like both incredibly like rubbery, in real life if you're like punching like an underinflated tire or whatever, like
Mhm.
imagine that kind of give, but also there's this weird like stickiness about it too, right? Where it's like you hit it with the quarterstaff and then it takes like more strength than you would think it should to pull the quarterstaff like back off of the surface of the creature, and then you hit it with your mug and there's a second where you're kind of like fighting with the creature's skin
get
to
it
get your
back.
mug back, and it comes back, it comes away with this like sickening sound of like pulling something off of like Velcro or whatever.
Oh. Like, what the fuck, guys? This is horrible. And that's Marvel movement, so that's it. Bottom.
So that happens. Ray.
Okay, I'm gonna be really, really annoyed at getting smacked in the face by it, but also getting tentacles from Siani. I'm like, so many things going on. What even? Oh boy. And so I'm just gonna take my silver-coated rapier and stab it. I'm going to use what inspiration I have to re-roll that.
Absolutely.
God fucking damn it.
Oh man, you just barely missed its AC. Dude.
Oh.
Oh, unfortunate.
I'm gonna use. I'm just gonna go over here because I know it's got a good fucking reach.
Right. So you run back past Rhea and Siani, and I think as you kind of like get back into that corner, you can see it in the room, and like Vert is like very like attentively examining the bodies that are like hanging on the wall.
Having trouble over there?
Ah, about as much trouble as I have with you on a day-to-day basis.
Hmm.
Oh,
So you've got it covered then. Good to know.
fuck's sake. All right, Siani. Ray has vacated his spot.
Okay. I guess she's going to step forward into that spot, cast Shillelagh, and bop at one.
Bonk.
Shilly Willy.
Good old Shilly Willy.
Oh no!
Okay,
A
I'm using
visa!
my fucking inspiration on that because I am feeling so cheated.
Do it. Get your reroll on.
Oh my.
That hits. Like literally, Ray missed it by 1.
Ugh,
All
bonk.
right. Yeah, you give the wall like a sound like a bonking on like one of its like outgrown pseudopods, right? And again, there's that like you hit it with your staff and like it's sticky and you have to fight to get your weapon back.
Ew. Ew.
But
Right? Like, what?
Can I hop back into my previous position?
you absolutely can.
Yeah, I'm getting the fuck away from it.
So as you run past Rhea, the door like lashes out with one of its pseudopods taking its opportunity attack.
Mm-hmm.
But an 11 does not hit you.
No.
So yeah, it smacks like wetly and stickily against the floor, like where you were just standing, and then it makes this kind of like sound like it wants to like pull you in and eat you, but it just doesn't manage to get a hand on you, or a pseudopod or tentacle or whatever, I guess.
Slimy wall teeth. I hate mimics.
Yeah, it's pretty awful. Rhea's gonna step forward and be like, Lucina, are you okay?
My I'm fine, dear. Don't worry about me. Just watch out for yourself, okay?
She's like, yes, ma'am. And then she will hit it with her sword, I guess. Hey!
Hey.
Oof.
She gives it a good hacking, cuts off one of the pseudopods. The creature, like, recoils in horror at this. Indeed.
You're way too good at that.
And it's gonna turn. Oh god, it has two good targets to split its attention between.
Oh boy.
Yeah,
Three,
okay, so.
technically.
Well, yeah, all of you did hit it pretty strongly. So, okay, I will start with Baw. Pseudopod 1. An 18 hits you?
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
Okay. You take 12 points of bludgeoning damage.
12.
12.
Ow. Okay.
And then one for Lucina. Does a 16 hit you, Lucina?
Nope.
Goody for you. And then it's gonna like crane its neck around the corner in a way that proves that this thing has no bones, as it kind of
God,
like
I'm just-
extrudes its mouth.
I'm just picturing a fucking Kezu right now. Oh,
Yeah.
God.
Oh.
And it, oh god, it crits on Rhea.
Oh,
no. Yeah.
no.
Hold on. What level are
yes.
we? We're only level 4. Okay.
Let's
That
see.
sucks.
Yeah, it does.
Because Lucina's got cool stuff next level.
Oh yeah, I do.
Yeah. Literally the one reason you take a grave cleric.
oh my
A
god.
glaive cleric.
So Rhea has 1 hit point left as this
Oh
thing
my God.
closes its teeth on her and just starts gnawing, and like acid is like washing over her like skin and armor, and she just screams bloody murder, and then this thing just like spits her out on the floor.
I just picture the screams being as loud as Viert's fucking shot, piercing all the way through the halls.
Very, very
Man.
uncomfortable. I think Rhea actually probably has just dropped unconscious, like from the pain.
Yeah. How much
'Cause, well,
damage did it do, man? Like, fucking hell. Was she not full?
Almost.
she had taken 1 hit, but
Oh.
I'll just I'll put this in the Marcus posting channel.
I don't know, I like the idea of glaive clerics.
Oof.
Fucking hell, man.
Yeah, it. Ooh, that's one of those bad ones. Lucina, you watch as this thing extrudes its mouth and nearly completely ruins one
Unhinges
of your
its
children.
jaw and almost swallows Rhea whole.
Yeah.
Alright, hold on, I'm reading spell cards real quick. Trying to figure
No
out how I want to
worries.
do this.
How do you want to do this?
Alright, fuck it, we're going balls to the wall on this one. One hand is going on Rhea for a level 2 healing word.
Okay.
Oh, that was a crappy roll.
I mean, at
Wait,
least
but you're a grave cleric. If they're unconscious, you do max healing.
She's not
She's not
technically
technically
unconscious.
she has a 1 hit point, but like,
Oh, okay.
yeah. I mean, still 8's nothing to sneeze at, right? Like.
And then the other hand is going to be pointing very menacingly at the door and firing off a guiding bolt.
All right.
Wow.
Wow.
I am rolling like shit.
Oh my god. Does anybody have inspiration that they would like to contribute to your grave cleric's progress here?
I just used mine.
I used
I
mine.
mean, I'll give you mine if you want. I'm
That's up to you. I don't want to take it
Oh.
if you're going to use it.
not going to use it.
He's got lucky. Fuck. What does he care?
Yeah, exactly.
No.
You can take my
Okay.
inspiration. I'll get lucky.
I appreciate it.
Welcome.
Teamwork makes the dream work.
Hey!
There it is.
That definitely hits. That kills it exactly.
Yes! I have
Not a-
achieved my goal.
Not a point of damage wasted. Yeah, so you conjure your guiding bolt, like whatever the scriptures of Kelemvor tell you that a guiding bolt should look like, descends on this mimic and just like blasts through it, and its form just like begins to discorporate, and just like this kind of jellied sludge and like stinking reeking acid starts to seep out, and then like it's clear that like it being there was kind of holding back this like water that's on the other side of it, and so that kind of starts seeping out to fill the space that you're standing in a little bit. And meanwhile Ray is kind of like just sort of coughing and barely like coming to, and she's just like, oh my god, it was terrible.
I'll give her a small pat on the shoulder. Just like, first time?
Just kind of like goggle eye, like through her goggles, you can see her eyes get big as she just like looks up at you, and she's just like, "Have you done this before?"
I'm going to creep up and say, as someone who's been eaten before, I feel your pain.
While she's there, I'm gonna use a healing word. Just a level 1.
Sure. Yeah, she feels a little bit better, and she kind of like starts to pick herself up and dust herself off, and she's just like, "What on earth was that thing doing here?"
Having lunch?
no
By those
idea.
things. Ray points at like the bloodied footprints.
Yeah, I'm going to go back to where I was doing and follow those into that room.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, so we cut back over to Vert for a second. In the room that you're in, you've been carefully examining the torture subjects.
I've been looting them.
Well, so here's the thing. I'm going to play this as careful examination because they are, for all intents and purposes, they were stripped down to their small clothes, right? And so there's not a lot to loot, unless I guess you want to cut the tiefling's horns off.
Ooh.
Don't you
Ooh.
fucking
Why did I
do it.
say that?
Why did you say that?
Who are you?
Ooh.
Do you see what Mom just did to that door? Do you want to risk it, man? Like, fuck.
I didn't see what Mom just did to
Oh
that
shit, you
door.
didn't? Right, you fucked.
I'll consider it.
Um,
I'll take it under advisement.
but yeah, I think what you do notice, like about both of the bodies, is that like not only were they like whipped and like cut on with razors, and generally like abused. There's definitely like salt like caked on the wounds, so like clearly that's what the bucket of salt was for. But also there small like inscriptions like carved in different parts of their body in like infernal script.
Interesting. Do I know what it's? Well, I know what it says, but
Yeah,
what
I
does
mean
it say?
it's generalized like sort of like offering like these tainted vessels to like the legions of the Nine Hells, and you know like what would be like, I think in other religions would probably be something on the order of like prayers for absolution, but in this case it's like, you know, take these mortal souls, kind of like it's not good. It probably doesn't have the effect that like the people carving the inscriptions would like, right? You can't sell someone's soul without their consent. But like it sure seems like they were trying.
Unless you rip it out of them and put it in a coin, apparently.
That's true. But that is not what they were doing to these people. They seem to have just been like torturing these two for funsies.
Well, that's kind of weird. If they had the ability to pull the souls into coins, why didn't they do it? You know?
Because sometimes they just want to get kicked, I guess. Fuck.
Maybe they just didn't have any coins.
Maybe they didn't have any vessels. Maybe the ritual that is soul coining people requires something that these two didn't have. Like there was a missing component or something. Unfortunately, with your investigation roll as it is hard to determine.
Hold on, I should get 2 of them, right? For action and bonus action?
I guess.
Yeah.
You know what? I think with that you notice, since you were interested in the bucket of salt, you probably notice in that kind of dark, grungy corner of the room where the container of salt is, kind of like fallen back behind the bucket, appears to be where they just stuffed these people's like clothes. When they stripped them to torture them, and they are both or were both at one point wearing uniforms that look familiar to you. They would be the kind of like appropriate house garb of the noble that you rescued.
Oh. So what I'm hearing is disguises.
I mean, theoretically, these would be like a butler and like an attendant's kind of like uniform, right? Like maybe the kinds of people that would ride on like the carriage or whatever, and would have a uniform that would display their like house allegiance and has like the crest of like his family like printed conspicuously somewhere, like probably on one of the breasts.
Okay.
That's subjugate.
So like servant's livery.
Yeah, exactly.
I put butler's clothes.
Yeah, so meanwhile, cutting back over to Mr. Baugh, you have followed the bloody footprints to a room. And let me read out here the boxed text. Let's see here. There are torches in wall sconces in the room that have been extinguished, and there is an open sarcophagus in the middle of the room. And you have like the dark vision goggles, right?
Yeah.
So in dark vision, everything kind of comes in black and white, and like shades of gray rather than color. So with the torches extinguished in the room, you see that the sarcophagus in the middle of the room seems to be filled to the rim with like a dark colored liquid of some description that seems a bit thick and viscous, and there are streaks of spillage down the sides pooling at the base of the sarcophagus.
Don't like it.
Also, it smells very metallic and coppery in this room.
Could I light one of the torches?
Yeah, you can easily like grab one of the torches out of the wall sconce and light it, and as soon as you shed normal light in the room, yeah, this sarcophagus is full to the rim with blood.
Ugh.
Big yikes.
Yeah, big fucking.
Just blood?
Just blood.
Does it look like these footprints are coming from the sarcophagus?
Yes, it appears as though someone got out of the sarcophagus covered in blood and then walked into that hallway.
Where did they go?
Well, given that there is a bunch of water that has flooded out from where the mimic died to fill that kind of like lower area, it is entirely possible that the footprints got washed away at some point when the mimic was previously coaxed out of the way.
Oh, that's not nice.
It's not nice at all.
So I guess I would have a look in this room next.
Yeah, so that room that you have just entered is it is a plundered, partially collapsed crypt that appears to have been at one point previously used as sleeping quarters. Like you can see like they've left behind like kind of moldering blankets and old bedrolls. There's obviously like there were torches in here to like provide illumination for people that don't normally have dark vision, and like they left the stuff that they didn't feel they need to carry apparently, and then just like took off with everything else.
Moved.
And the room that Siani has poked her head into is similar. In the middle there is an open stone sarcophagus which bears no carvings or ornamentation, but is filled to the brim with humanoid bones and skulls, and 6 dusty bedrolls lie on the floor around it.
These
Well
people
then.
are fucking crazy, man.
Indeed. Meanwhile, ahead of you, Lucina and Ray, you hear a faint sloshing in the water, as though something was slowly moving around, aimlessly ambling through the ankle-deep liquid.
Hold on, I've got something for this. Let me find it.
I've got a meme for this. Shit, I meant a spell for this. Fuck.
Eyes of the Grave. Are there
Yes.
undead around?
There are definitely undead around that corner. There are a lot of undead around that corner.
I will turn around to Ray and start doing appropriate hand motions in the style of Beard.
Unfortunately, I am a bit retarded, and you're not entirely doing them properly, so I kind of stand here going, there's 2 sheep doing what now?
Oh my god.
And that's a facepalm.
I assume you're whispering as you have this conversation.
I wasn't actually going to be saying anything. I don't know if Ray is whispering.
Oh no, I
Yeah,
think
I
Ray
just-
actually did ask out loud if
yes,
you were.
he did.
Yes. Can you give me a stealth check to determine how well you are doing at not being heard?
Oh no.
Wow, the one talking has great stealth.
I think what it is you've kind of like wheeled around to like look at Vert as you, or not Vert. I don't know why I'm dumping on Amaya. Amaya hasn't done anything.
I haven't
You-
done anything.
You wheel around to like face palm at Ray, and it's your shifting in the ankle deep water like sloshes enough that it kind of like draws the attention, and you hear this kind of like low groan, and you hear the sound of something like edging closer to the corner, and you smell that familiar smell of burning and methane.
My nemesis, her battle shall be legendary.
Can I poke my head around the corner with firebolt prepared and ready to fire off?
Absolutely.
Can we still move up here, or are we like locked in?
I'm
And
letting.
that's a firebolt.
Okay. Yeah, you see him just right there. You hit, just blam.
Oh, after you.
Vulnerability to fire means he actually takes 8 damage.
Oofed.
And yeah, like the zombie that's just standing right there, like a gout of fire kind of like comes out from between its ribs or whatever. It's just like, "Ugh!" And it attracts the attention of the other zombies in the hallway ahead of you.
Nope, we are backing up.
And I will keep your guys' initiative rolls, I think, and I'll just roll in Jan Zombarino's.
Okay. You see, the bad thing about fighting these zombies in this room is if they blow up the wooden pillars, there's going to be an arcade in.
Chain reaction.
Quite possibly. Alright, so sort descending. Once again, Siani, you are at the top of the order. Seem to have
a
lost
little
your
bit.
token. Oh, there you are.
Oh,
You were under
sorry.
ball.
Okay. Not getting any further than that. To take out the crossbow. Not this corner. That wrong one. Sorry.
It's fine. Take your time.
Oh.
Oh.
It flies a little wide,
What is
unfortunately.
with the sixes?
I don't know, man.
I don't know.
You're having a
but I'm
real
going to
time
step
of it.
back.
You know, at this rate,
Oof.
you're gonna be throwing a crossbow.
Maybe.
Yeah, so
Maybe I should.
Rhea, hearing the battle joined up ahead, she is going to advance like a trooper with her 17 hit points.
Are we in difficult terrain at the moment? Or
Oh, we are actually. She can't quite make it. The water does double everything, so she'll actually just head up to there with a double move, and she's like drawing her, like put her sword away and is drawing her bow as she moves up, and she's like, I see 3.
she is not in great shape.
No, she is not.
Oh, no.
I did what I could in such short notice.
Lucina, there are multiple contacts around the corner, as you are well aware.
Alright, let's try and do this without dying. I will poke my head around the corner again and firebolt because why not?
Yeah, get him. Nice.
Once more with feeling. All right. I mean, it still does double damage because it's fire, so
And then popping back.
Yeah.
fair. Yeah, so this Zombo back here.
A wop bop a doo wop a bop zombambo.
20, 30, 40, 50, 60 is going to advance with purpose. And then this dead cultist here rises as a zombie.
Rise from your grave.
And 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 will also advance with purpose. Vert. Sounds like there's combat going on to the north of you.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like. Shame. I'll unsling my rifle and just kind of wait. I'll ready a shot for whatever comes around the corner if they let it, because I'm not allowed to shoot the guns near them. So
We've got earplugs now. At least I do. Like,
Yeah, at least Bo got his earplugs. Alright, so you ready in action, waiting for something
Yep.
to come around the corner. Conveniently for you and everybody else, something immediately comes around the corner, heading straight for Rhea
Hey!
to attack her.
I want to shoot right between Lucina's horns.
Can we
Right in its
talk?
face.
Can we talk about how this is gonna be a High School of the Dead shot right here?
It is going to be a high school dead shot.
High School of the Dead Shot. That'll hit.
And
Poorly. Yeah, okay, so no matter
You know
what else
what?
you
Hold
tack
on,
on
I
top of
should-
it, it's gonna die.
yeah, I should have Hunter's marked it because I had that up before we even started the game. So 5 more.
Okay, so you drop it, and as is customary for our explodey friends, let's see here. If a corpse damn zombies reduces your hit points, it immediately explodes.
I think it's 10 foot.
All creatures within 10 feet must make a dexterity saving throw, DC 13. Target takes 2d8 fire damage on a failed save, or half as much on a successful one. So, 10 feet says
Oh.
Siani and Rhea and Lucina.
You're resistant to fire anyway, aren't you, Lucina?
Yeah, I am.
It's not as bad then. Still sucks though.
I also take half because of my cloak.
That's true.
Nice.
Let's see here. Explosive death. Okay, so, it is 7 points of damage. All of you take half. 2 of you because of, like, having resistance, and 1 of you for making their save. So, we round down in this game, so that is, what, 3?
3.
Yeah. So not bad. I mean, like, it didn't do Ray any favors, but, meanwhile, it does seem that the pillars that are supporting this particular hallway are a bit sturdier than elsewhere in the construction of this temple. So while the wooden beams do get shook a little bit by the explosion and a bit of like dust and debris kind of comes down from the ceiling, it seems as though they were more careful to reinforce this area. So you are not currently in risk of the roof coming down on your head.
Okay.
And then 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. Yeah. So that guy advances to the 4, trying to get towards the meat. Another one of the dead cultists rises from the grave and likewise ambles forward. Mr. Ball, there was an explosion in front of you. It has singed your friends. What do you do?
Gotta move up to here.
And remember, this is the water does
Yeah, so it's like 10.
double move per square. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's as far as I can go. And I'm gonna throw a fucking dragon or orb of dragon breath at this guy here.
Alrighty. That hits, believe it or not. They don't have much in the way of armor class. Oh my god.
That's a fireball in a bottle.
Right, so and because it's fire damage and these things are vulnerable to fire, they take double fire damage. So this thing just took 40 points of fire damage, which is like double the amount of health that it had.
I see. You turned it into an infernal.
Is the Orb of Dragon Breath an AoE or is it a 5-foot?
It is a single target attack.
Okay.
Yeah, it says on the description you get it's up to 2 creatures.
Yeah, but
5 feet.
now he explodes and the zombie behind him takes damage.
Yeah, that was the plan. I was hoping they would have grouped up with this other guy, and I'd have been able to get the 2 that we blow
Oh,
up.
does
but
it say up to 2 creatures or?
within 5 feet, yeah.
Oh,
There's
within
no
5
within
feet.
5 feet, so it's fine.
Okay, so here's the funny thing. No one has actually killed one of these with a fire attack to date.
no.
So it hasn't mattered until now.
Oh no.
So there is a second text on this creature called Powder Keg, which says
Fuck.
a corpse stamped zombie is vulnerable to fire. If damage results in death, their explosive death ability has a range of 15 feet and deals 48 damage, or half as much
Oh
on
my
a successful
God.
Oh my
This
god!
guy and this guy. Holy crap, that means
Rhea.
this guy and this guy get damage.
And me and Rhea.
Yup.
And fuck Lucina and
It
fuck
flows
Tiana.
around.
Oh my
flows around
God.
corners.
What have you done?
I'm so sorry.
So
No,
again,
you
dexterity
fucking no.
DC 13 dexterity saving throws, please.
Oh yes. I needed that to survive.
God
I
damn
only
it.
had 19 health.
Oh no.
I mean, again, at least they take half damage. Rhea fails her save, though.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Hold
Okay.
on a minute. Hold on. Where is
What?
this? I'm just trying to find.
Do I have to pull out the beam of fuck you again.
Oh no, I think I've done plenty of fuck you in this moment. Like, because if this other one explodes by the fire, it's gonna fucking. Do
Oh,
the
it's
thing.
6th level she gets it. It's 6th level she gets it.
Okay,
Oh.
so Rhea goes down,
I was like-
unfortunately.
Yeah, I was like, isn't Rhea a paladin? Doesn't she have the trouble bubble? But it's
No.
not. till
She
6th
doesn't
level.
have it yet, unfortunately. So Rhea goes down, which is fine. I mean, Mom's right there. Mom can maybe help her out. She has to make death saving throws. She is, for all intents and purposes, a player character. So, but yeah, so the fire flows around the corner. It does 19 points of damage. So those of you who succeeded on their saving throws or otherwise have resistance will take half of that.
So what, like 9?
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Meanwhile, this zombie takes 19 points of fire damage. And the zombie back here takes double, so he dies.
Yes.
And he's died from fire damage.
Yeah.
And he has died from fire damage. So everything within 15 feet. So let me roll that attack again. Okay, so this zombie.
Oh, hang on a sec. Visa, you were hit by the first explosion as well, I think, didn't you?
Yeah, how much damage did I take?
You
Yeah,
took
9.
9. That's after your resistance is applied. So
Okay.
because it was 19 originally.
Yeah,
So yeah, that guy dies. And then this guy takes 16 from the secondary explosion.
You're like, holy shit, Rhea, did you see that? Rhea? Oh fuck.
Oh no!
I'm just gonna be standing here right on the edge of this huge explosion, the hair getting blown all over the place, just rubbing my
Yeah.
eyes, and I just see like all I saw was
So-
like a little bit of fire getting thrown by a ball, and then a lot of
Yeah.
bad.
Yeah, it's like boom, boom, and then it's just like mist and like pressure wave and heat and like the room, like the hallway kind of like rocks and like more dust and debris like rains down from the ceiling. One of the wood pillars has definitely been splintered and like blown out of position, so the roof kind of shifts a little bit, but it doesn't collapse.
Oh, thank
Once
God.
again, I am singed and smoking in several places.
I turn around and I've just got like the fucking full front is covered in charcoal, the hair's blown back.
Nailed it.
Yeah,
Alright,
thumbs
Ray.
up, guys. Take my goggles off so you can just see the 2 fucking spotless marks where the goggles been.
Okay, I'm
It
gonna
is your turn.
be like, oh, holy fuck, what in the hell? 10, 20. I'm gonna try and can I help her, or should I leave it to Mom?
You can medicine check to stabilize her, or any healing spell will just get her back up like immediately.
I get full healing on people that are unconscious, just so you
That
know.
is
Okay,
true.
so
That's a good point.
I'm gonna stand.
You could heal Bo.
I could, but does he deserve it after that? I mean,
Good point. Yeah, you
I mean-
listen.
I mean,
I just killed
technically, he
3
took
enemies
out.
with 1 attack.
Yeah, he killed 3 enemies with 1 attack.
okay, I'm
What if you count Rhea?
well, I was gonna stand on Rhea's tile, but then
Wow.
that'll end my movement, so I'll be stuck on her tile, and I'm not allowed to do that. So,
Could you not just move up like through me and Lucina and get onto the dead zombies tile?
yes, that is true. I could do that.
Yeah.
And I look down and I just see this decimation. I look at the roof, half about to cave in, and I'm just like, oh, we really should not stay here any longer than we have to. And I just hear a little groan in the background of, eh. And I'm just like, no, 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 no. No. No, no,
That does,
no, 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 no.
actually hit. Zombies only have an armor class of 8.
Oh, hey!
All right, so he's gonna have to make a Constitution saving throw. Cause that's what happens. check and make sure he stays dead, basically.
Mm.
And he fails, so he falls down in the water with a loud, resounding splash. All right. And so you can see this guy, right, Ray?
No, I
This
can't
dead.
actually.
Oh, is it beyond your range?
It may well be 5, 10.
Oh,
Just-
it is
just
5 feet outside. So yeah, there are a couple of more corpses you can kind of dimly see at the edge of your vision, out there in the water that have just been left behind, and both of them like shudder and arise as zombies, and begin slowly hobbling into view. And that is all the further they can make it with their double moves, because they don't move very far as zombos. And we're back to Siani at the top of the order.
I think I can. Yes, I can step up here.
Yeah, so there's a
They
couple
just
of
keep coming.
zombies, and to be clear, these ones that are using the generic zombie token, these are actually dressed like the cultists that you've dealt with before. They're wearing the kind of like gold like devil masks that are a little like kind of off kilter on their face because they're dead, and they're wearing the red and black and gold detailed like cult robes, but like they're soaked through with water and they look unkempt. It looks like they were in an incredibly like serious fight when they died.
Okay. Something to take note of, but more importantly, they're coming at us.
They came from behind.
I'm going to use a silver bolt with that.
All right, you're shooting the one directly in front of you, I
Mhm.
presume. Okay, that definitely hits. All right, good damage. Takes a good meaty chunk from the zombie's shoulder as the bolt kind of like tears in. I don't presume you have anything to do with your bonus action, so
No, I don't.
Rhea will attempt a death saving throw. She will succeed on a death saving throw. And she's kind of like half floating in this like ankle deep water. Lucina.
I'm gonna slap a level 2 cure wounds on her, so that would be 16, 21 healing for her.
Nice.
Excellent. Yeah, so like it's probably the thing that you always see in action movies or whatever, where they hit them in the chest with the adrenaline or whatever, and like her whole body just like arches and she just gasps in like a huge breath, just like, oh god.
We're doing fine, dear. Don't worry about it.
And then she's just like coughing and shaking her head, and she's just like, oh, I don't know how you people deal with this.
That is all I can do on this turn.
All right. Vert, we're back to you.
So let's see. My options are move forward and do nothing because no one wants me shooting my guns in near them, or
Didn't you
grabbing
pick up
a.
that didn't you pick up that repeating crossbow at some point?
Did I?
I know
Yeah,
I know
Yes.
I gave it to you.
I
don't
don't
know if
have
you-
it in here.
I don't know if you put it on your sheet or not, but I know I put the stats in the loot channel
Did you?
because you found
You
it.
deliberately
We
took it from the
took
guy,
off that
didn't
guy.
you?
I put the link to
Oh,
the,
yeah, look at
the
that.
repeating crossbow from Out of the Abyss in the channel.
Okay, I'll start moving up then. We'll just 5, 10, 15, 25, and then
Go
we'll
for
go.
choice difficult terrain.
Yeah. 25, and we'll double move.
I think that's as far as you can get.
10, 20, 30
Alright.
on a double move.
Probably a bright idea to check in there in case we get fucking flanked off cunts.
And
Yeah.
I can't hold a bonus action, can I?
Well, okay, so technically speaking, like, holding an action takes your reaction, so,
Mhm.
like, I don't see a reason that you couldn't, but I don't, other than moving your hunter's mark, I don't know why you would.
Because with 2-weapon fighting, I can make an attack with my second weapon as a bonus action.
I think you have to make the first attack for
Oh,
that. though.
okay. Then I will just stand here.
Looking pretty.
As for that room, just for what it's worth, that room that you were kind of like in the doorway of, this appears to be, or this flooded room was once an old cellar, a collapsed eastern passage marking a staircase that formerly led up to a residence or some other building in the upper city. So, and it seems as though, like, at some point or another, this room must have contained those burning zombies, because it's kind of like sooty and ashy in here, and it smells like
It's
methane.
ashy. Yeah, it needs
Yeah.
some lotion.
Yeah. Sure. Bossing ba.
uh,
Ba 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 sing ba.
Hey, you guys.
So I'm going to move up to here, and then I'm going to use 2 key points to get the quick and healing.
Yeah.
So what is that? What's my martial art? Is that
It is whatever your unarmed strike damage is
So a D4.
at the moment. Yeah.
Number of hit points plus the proficiency bonus, which is 2. So I roll a D4 on that 2.
It's kind of like a little baby second wind. Oh. Rough.
So I get 3 back, and then I can't remember if my brawler's mug was a bonus action or not.
I think it's your action.
Oh, and the rolls mug. It just says I can regain 1d4 or 4d4 plus 4.
Yeah. Here we go. You can regain. Oh, yeah, I guess, sure. You can use it as a bonus action then. It's basically just a potion, so I don't
Yeah.
see why not. I let people drink potions as a bonus action, so why the fuck not?
Oh. So that's 4d4 plus 4.
Yeah.
Hey, that's not like it. So 18.
So you move up towards the zombies and then spend your turn healing yourself.
Yeah.
I like it.
Hey, I got
Excellent.
it full.
You're back to full at least. Alright, so that I believe is all of yours.
Yeah, that's my turn there.
Ray, there are 2 more cultist zombies, like slowly making their way towards you. Not downtown.
Da-na-na-na-na-na.
Yeah. I'll let him go with this one. Because he said not downtown. But you better remember.
I'm always watching. I'll
You
fucking get
monsters.
Oh,
You monsters! Actually,
Okay.
it sets Nimri off way more than me, so.
How am I gonna do this? Okay, so first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna give Siani some bardic inspiration because she's the next person in line.
Hey.
So that's down, and now you have a little green Magatama floating around you, making little notes.
Your mote of potential.
Yay.
And then I will once again try with the short bow. Maybe I'll get lucky this time.
Shorebo.
Hey.
I assume you're shooting at this one that has already taken damage. or you're
Well,
shooting
I can't
at
actually
it?
see that one.
Oh, it's partially blocked by the pillar,
Yeah.
I guess.
So I can
Okay.
only hit this one.
Fair enough.
For 3.
I mean, it still does damage, right? Like the zombie does that kind of like hit with a projectile, like stagger for a second, and then continues to shamble towards you.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
And then I'll just leave it there.
Yep.
I'll just turn to Tiani. It's like, you know what to do.
So this zombie shambles up to get in your face, but it has to double move to get that far because zombie move speed fucking sucks. So it just kind of like limply like kind of bats at you with its dead like hands. Not enough to actually really cause you any mischief. And then this one will likewise, like it steps onto the smoldering corpse of one of the other zombies and continues to like moan and groan about brains or some such zombie nonsense. Siani.
Okay.
I'm a seagull. Go fuck
So-
yourself. Sorry.
I'm a zombie, go fuck yourself.
Your bardic inspiration die is a d6. Okay, that's all I needed to remember.
If I could die.
We got two zombos wading towards your halfling.
I was just looking at my options.
That's fair.
Tail whip him.
I mean, I would, but that's the 10-foot reach.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, I don't think I can actually get that far.
I mean, you could go there. You could go to
Well, I could, but
here and then just tail whip ball while you're at it.
There you go. Smack him in the ass. Tell him to get a move on.
God, I can't.
Yeah,
I
like,
can't.
fucking
I
tail
cannot
whip me.
help. I cannot help but imagine the tail attacks from Code Vein now.
Yeah.
is that 5 or 10 feet between those two zombies?
5.
Yeah,
If you target the space between them, they're 5 feet apart.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's a 5-foot square between them.
Nah. That's a waste of a spell right now. I will
You could pull a Virt and just chill.
I'll
you
just
could-
go with the crossbow, and I'll use the inspiration with it.
Hey.
Well, yeah. And
All
I'll
right.
be targeting the one in front of Bo.
Okay. And you said you were going to use the bardic inspiration on it.
Mhm.
Yes. Okay. So, I need to reference performance of creation here real quick. Or no, it's motive potential is the one.
Mhm.
When you use the bardic inspiration die, yada yada yada. Immediately after the creature rolls bardic inspiration die to add it to the attack roll against the target, the moat thunderously shatters. The target and each creature of your choice that you can see within 5 feet must succeed on a Constitution saving throw with a equal to your DC, or take an amount of thunder damage equal to the number rolled on the bardic inspiration die. So go ahead and roll me a D6, please.
Okay.
Okay.
Ooh.
Cool. So that is some nice chunky extra damage there. Then let me roll their Constitution saving throw. They do not succeed, so it will take 10 from the crossbow and then an additional 5 thunder damage from the moat exploding. Which actually drops it to 0. So let me make a Constitution saving throw to see if it stays dead. It does. Okay, so the one directly in front of you, with a thunderous clap, falls backwards and splashes into the water, Bossing Ball.
Nice.
All right. So Rhea spends basically half of her movement to wearily stand up out of the water and retrieve her bow, and then tells Ray to duck, and will send a longbow arrow down the alley at the remaining zombie for 7. And then she is going to guiltily try to slink away from the direct line of sight. And speaking of guilt and the cause thereof, Lucina, you are up once again.
Alright, let's firebolt this bitch.
Yeah, fucking get him.
Wow!
Oh.
Sorry, Ray, I didn't mean to light your hair on fire with that.
Oh no.
Oh, wow. Yeah. So actually no. The funny thing about the way hitting cover works is I believe when a ranged attack misses a target that has cover, determine whether or not the attack would have hit the target if they did not have cover. If the attack roll falls within a range low enough to miss the target, but high enough to strike the target if the target had had no cover, the cover is struck instead. Which it does not. It just simply like singes your hair a little bit, I think, Ray, and just goes wide rather than directly setting you on fire.
I just hands on the head. Mom!
First I get slapped with a tentacle and then I get set on fire. Fuck.
You needed a haircut. It's okay. I just took a little bit off the top.
And off the sides and from your eyebrows.
That's all I can do. I don't have a bonus action I can use.
Sure. God, I just looked back at the ABC channel and I just saw the pronouncing loot crates like a Greek philosopher stressed out.
Yeah!
Yeah.
L-
Luotcrates.
Lucrates, yeah.
Luotcrates.
Luotcrates. Yeah, that's fucking. Oh my god. Alright, Vert. What are you doing, Luotcrates?
Having a rough time, are we? To
Having a
Rhea.
wonderful time. Yeah, she's just like, this has been a suboptimal day, Vert.
I think it's been quite wonderful. I'm doing just fine.
I kind of wish she was chaotic neutral so she could stab you right now.
She can still pick a fight with him.
Want me to take your mind off that wound? Give me your finger. Now you may feel a little pressure.
No, I think she knows better.
Gonna shoot the dude! Well, first we're gonna move a hunter's mark to him.
God fucking damn it, I already know your hobbits.
Oh my god, look at that.
Plus hunter's mark. So that's
5, 10, 14?
14.
14.
Disgusting.
Which is enough to drop the zombie to 0. Let us test and see if he makes the Constitution saving throw to not die. He does. So he is left with a single hit point.
Oh, I'm not having that. Sorry, y'all. It's happening.
Oh, do it.
It's happening. This is gonna roll damage twice, so just take the first value.
Sure.
if it hits, of course.
That does hit.
So
Bang.
that is 14 more damage.
Okay.
Fucking
let me-
And
Spike
now you
Spiegel
see why
over
I
here.
use the guns. Huh?
Spike Spiegel
yeah.
over here. Bang.
Yeah, to be fair, it only hurts Rhea's ears, really, because you're behind a pillar and...
Yeah, okay. So that is enough on that second shot. Like the shot rings out, it ripples down the hallway and off of the stone walls and the watery surface of the temple and takes a huge chunk out of the zombie's like neck and shoulder, and then it too falls over and collapses into the water with a splash. And it seems with that last zombie felled that there are no more creatures moving about that are headed in your direction with any amount of malice. So you are now free to move about the cabin.
Looking at all the people who are probably looking at me with dirty looks for firing the gun next to them, all I can say is, what? I killed it, didn't I?
It's fair.
I'll turn
I'm not gonna
around.
say anything, 'cause I did
I turned
cause
around
a
and
chain
I'm like, "Fear,
explosion.
it would have been nicer if you'd helped kill everything else.
You told me not to shoot the guns near you.
You didn't have to use the guns." Pointing at the repeater.
Which he suddenly remembered that he had.
Yeah, I will look at the repeater and go, I don't really like this one. Go ahead,
All
hon,
we're
I'm
asking
sorry.
you to do is not fire them in enclosed areas.
Hun, were you trying to say something? I'm sorry.
No, it's all good.
Okay.
So-
Everything's an enclosed area, it seems.
Here,
The-
unfortunately.
Right. So yes, the room that you have entered, Bosingbaugh, this flooded chamber opens up with rough-hewn steps climbing to the south, north, and northeast. There's like a little dais in the water that seems to be spattered with blood, and like it looks as though like a short sword and a great club were just left like sitting atop like this area in the middle, like some kind of like fight happened in this room, and then you can see there's a bit of like blood smear on these stairs over here where something was like drug up the steps. And then up these steps you see there's a chest in the corner here, and what appears to be a few like coins like left behind on the ground, and it looks like there are kind of like outlines on the floor where there are probably like more chests in that alcove that have since been removed.
Mm. Can I see if this chest is locked if it opens?
You can, Lucina, the area that you are looking into, appears to be a small little side alcove. And there is a stack of crates up in this kind of like area back here. You also hear like some skittering and chattering coming from this direction.
Rat friend.
Rat friends.
Alright, I want to roll stealth before I look around the corner.
Absolutely.
Hey, I did alright on stealth for once.
Yay!
All right. So yeah, you as far as you can tell, you are incredibly well hidden. Yeah, so that room, as you kind of poke your head through the open doorway, to your right here in this kind of alcove, there are several empty crates. One of them appears to like one crate still has a few things in it, and by a few things I mean 5 torches that just got left behind. The room to the north appears to contain several more crates scattered around the room, and scurrying amongst them is a whole family of rats.
Rat friends.
Viert! I think I found something you'll like.
Meanwhile, the chest that you have found, Mr. Ball, would you like to what would you like to do with it?
Just see if it's opened. Try and open it.
It has 2 locks on the front of it, and they both appear to be locked.
Okay, I'll just try to unlock them then, I guess.
All right, you just gonna go at it.
Yeah, this is gonna end badly. I feel, but fuck it.
All right, make me a DC. Actually, roll 1d2 for me first.
1d2.
We'll determine which lock you're going after first. Since it seems like you're kind of going hodgepodge. Okay, so you're going after the leftmost lock. Go ahead and make me a Thieves' Tools check. All right, you very easily like open the lock, and then you go after the other one. Make me a DC 15 Constitution saving throw, if you would.
Oh no.
Yep.
You did this to yourself.
Okay, so let's see here. Creature a creature within range as the poison dart trap discharges takes 1 piercing damage,
Okay.
and then must succeed on a DC 15 Constitution saving throw. Creatures who fail the saving throw take 4d10 poison damage, or half as much on a successful save. So
4d10.
Yep.
Roll bad, Marcus, please.
Oh my god.
13 points of damage
Oh.
as the dart discharges and hits you like in the shoulder and pumps this like venom into you.
Wait a minute. It's a dart.
Mm-hmm. It's a dart
Aren't
full
you-
of
Oh
poison.
yeah.
Aren't you a monk?
Yeah, can I not catch that?
I mean, technically, it doesn't make an attack roll.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. Weapons deflect missiles is based on the damage, not the.
That's true.
Yeah, no, when you're hit by a ranged weapon attack.
Yeah, I mean, it just says when the trap is triggered, a dart fires out, and it does like a point of damage. So yeah, I guess you could instead deflect missiles and catch the dart.
I mean, yeah.
Well, there's no way you won't deflect 1 point of
Yeah,
damage.
I know, right? Like, I'm
Oh,
getting
yeah, this
catching up.
dart like flies out of like this little like thing that like opens above the lock as you start trying to like fuck with the lock, and you just catch it, and it's this little dart that's like full of poison.
Well, that could have been bad. Like, so just go ahead and make a TCO check to unlock this then.
So the second lock actually is just bait. It doesn't actually
Okay.
function as a lock.
Okay, fuck you.
You didn't make any perception checks.
Why the fuck are you looking at talking to? Why would I?
Why would he have any perception?
Right. So I assume you are opening the chest.
Yeah,
then.
I'm opening that, yeah.
Okay.
He's just leaving
So
it just
again,
watching this
you
play
open the
unfold.
chest. A cloud of gas begins flowing out of the chest. Please make a DC 12 Constitution save.
Please
throw.
fail. Please God fail.
Oh.
Oh.
Okay. So you will take half of this. So you take 4 points of poison damage as you inhale the poison. You also notice that there is an object sitting in the chest, which appears to be a flint and steel on a clockwork spinning sparker.
Wait, what?
Please make me a dexterity saving throw. And you will take half of this.
You're not fucking bad, man. You know that.
So he opens the chest, Siana, you see this, and like gas just comes out of the chest, and then from your perspective, you're coughing, you breathe this stuff in, and you see there's this device sitting in the box, and it's a clockwork mechanism that immediately unwinds when the weight of the lid is lifted, and this piece of steel just spins around in circles several times, like hitting a flint, until it makes enough sparks to ignite the gas,
Oh.
and the chest explodes.
Uh,
and knocks you on your ass.
Fucking.
To
fucking
be fair,
delirium.
Hun. To be fair, Hun, did anyone not see that coming?
I know, right? How much is that then?
So yeah,
Oh.
you take 3 points of damage from that because you succeeded on that dexterity saving throw.
I
But you're like knocked back like 5 feet and on your ass as the
bump
chest
into
just
the wall like,
explodes. Yeah.
God damn.
I just heard
I just-
a with an arched eyebrow.
I just come around the corner after hearing some weird noises and a small explosion. I see Siani just like, what even? And I look in the room. And I just see Ba, and like he's something definitely happened in there.
For what it's worth, without Siani moving her token, can you see this aura now?
Yes.
That is the gas and blast radius of the
Holy
chest.
shit!
I am just out of it. She's just gonna
Let us,
fold her arms over her chest and say, "Didn't the first trap kind of spell that off as a bad idea?"
No, it didn't.
Or at
Should
least
have put it
have a
fucking
little
Maybe-
bit of caution.
Yeah, maybe this will be a lesson. Don't go opening like boxes in random crypts we find. Maybe check
That's
them
fucking
first.
fucking quitter talk, Ray.
Maybe
Oh
we
well,
should go check
look
the
what I'm
box
talking
again.
to, Mister I Skip Town.
So we cut back over to Lucina and Vert. You have found a room, as I said, that is full of like a whole bunch of like rat friends that are just like scurrying around like over the
Oh,
tops of boxes and
friends.
barrels and like poking their heads out of little holes in the wood. Just like chittering at you. They're making uh like defensive noises, right? Like
I will look back at Lucina.
Yes, Spirit.
It's rats. They're
It
rats.
is rats. You seem to like your other rat friend, so I figured you would want the rest of the family.
I will cast speak with animals and walk into the room.
yeah, so you cast speak with animals and you step into the room and somewhere
and
in
pull
the
out
distance
rat friend.
somewhere in the distance there's an explosion.
What?
You pull out rat friend and like the sounds that the rats are making go from just like unintelligible chittering to hey, this is ours, stay away, and then you pull out like your rat friend and they're like, oh, you brought dad back.
Ah.
Not that.
Yeah, and he like hops down off of your hand and kind of like scurries over to the boxes, and I think the rats kind of like gather together like around you.
Oh, it's a little rat family reunion!
At least it's not like Rat Woman.
And they're all just like chittering to one another, like, who's this? And it's just like, this guy found me and he's been feeding me. I've been riding around in his pocket, and he's kind of weird, but he's all right. And then they're all just like, he's all right.
He's alright. That's the highest praise Beard has ever gotten from anyone, and it's the fucking rats. Jesus, fuck you guys. I'm living with the rats now. The rats are gonna be my teammates.
Yeah, I found your calling, my man. You're the rat whisperer.
Yeah, and they all kind of like look up at you and they're like, you're not gonna take our food, right? There's only a little bit left.
I don't want your food, but I would like to know what you know about this area.
Yeah, and they kind of like chitter to one another, like speaking in rat like a little too fast for you to understand, and then like rat friend, like who is now obviously rat father, is the one that like decides to speak for the group and kind of like looks up at you and is like, they say that there was a fight. The leader of the bad men got into a fight with the man with the scar on his face, and then they took him to the room with the statues over there, and he kind of motions to the curtain that's kind of like to the left-hand side of the room. And they sacrificed him to their dark gods.
Will you-
Yeesh.
My friend is somewhat of an expert in that area. Would you allow her to go check that room?
Oh, sure. There's no food in that room. We don't care about that room. We
Okay.
only care about this room.
Then I will tell Lucina what Rat Dad told me, and that she might want to take a look in the room to my left.
Okay, I will do that.
Yeah, and then they go on to say the other thing you learn is that like after they killed that guy in that room, a bunch of people came in and they emptied most of the crates and took most of the supplies, which has left them with very little food left, and then
Mhm.
all of the people left.
Okay. I don't necessarily want to take away from other people's roleplay, so I will just give them some. Do I have rations? I do have rations. I'll break up a whole day's worth of rations for them in exchange for information.
They celebrate you as your.
I am the rat god.
You are now their rat savior.
Rat Jesus.
I am rat Jesus.
Let's see here. Where
Raticus Christo.
my player handout? I want to find specifically the handout for this character that you are seeing here, laying on the floor in front of you, dear Lucina. Here we are. So this man, minus his club, because I already described his club as being on that little dais in the watery area, is who you find laying on the floor betwixt these statues.
Mortlock Vampumper.
The full description of the room. Let's see here. Burned torch stubs litter the floor of this hall, the western end of which is occupied by 3 6-foot-tall painted wooden statues. Each statue stands atop a 2-foot-high block of red-black stone, making it look taller and more foreboding. The center statue resembles a heavily armored man whose face is hidden behind a fearsome visor of a helmet. He's painted red except for his right gauntlet, which is painted black. Clutched in his gauntlet is a blood-red spear pointed upward. The statue to the north depicts a purple-garbed male noble in a harlequin mask holding a dagger behind his back. The statue to the south portrays a black-robed skeleton with its jaw opened wide and its bony hands outstretched.
Is that similar to the doors we were at earlier?
Yes.
Okay.
I believe you have previously identified all of this as iconography of the Cult of the Dead 3. Which are 3 evil gods who have off and on like been a pain in everyone's ass throughout history and are also like specifically enemies of your god.
I was gonna say it's the 3 death gods that Kellenvor took out, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And yeah, this gentleman who I mean, obviously like the art handout like gives away what his name is, but like in character you have no general way of understanding what his name is, but like he appears to have been like beaten severely and then drug into this room and placed on his knees between the statues and then had his throat slit and then they just left him here.
Morty, you sacrificed to dead gods, Morty. Morty, I'm sorry.
Do a sacrifice, Morty.
Morty, we gotta sacrifice shit, Morty.
I will perform rites for him, and would I know if it would be troublesome for me to destroy these statues?
You could make a religion check.
Morty, the nice lady's gonna pass you on to the afterlife, Morty.
I mean, with an 11, like, it's hard to say. The Dead 3, such as they are
dead.
well, they're kind of demi powers now. Like they were actually like legitimately dead for a while and have, according to some rumors, recently returned to the material plane, and it is hard to say whether or not that is true. If it is true, they might be able to exert like a curse on you, but you don't know. They definitely don't have like full deity power as far as Kelemvor's like priests are concerned. At least not at the moment.
Well, then I will angrily flip off all 3 statues after I've performed final rites for this guy.
Mom's idea of chaos, flipping off statues.
Let that be a lesson to you.
Yeah, that'll show you.
So yeah, we find ourselves with an exploded treasure chest, a family of rats that are now worshipping Vert as their god, and a conspicuously murdered man who was left behind when the cult evacuated.
Morty left you behind, Morty. Can I take the rats with me? Can I start a rat swarm?
I mean, if you want to respec into Swarmkeeper Druid and have or Swarmkeeper Ranger and have
That's
a
a
swarm of
thing?
rats as your swarm, yeah, it's in Tasha's.
What?
Yeah.
You'd have to go and speak to our.
Oh my god, there is!
What have
Oh
you
my
done,
lord.
Marcus? What have you done?
Something awesome? Can you imagine Vert just having a swarm of rats come boiling out of his clothes as parts of his attacks?
Listen,
Oh, you mean like that
nobody
fucking
wanted
lady
that,
that
and now
attacks
we're all
you
gonna
with
have
all my phone rats?
PTSD.
God.
Oh, that's between Vert and his soul, whether or not he wants that for himself. But I'm just putting it out in the ether.
That fucking mom with the statues fucking punching. Fuck you! Fuck you! Fuck you! Fuck you! Fuck you!
But yeah, so I mean, I don't want to say that you've necessarily run out of leads, but like obviously, like the room that had the chest in it that exploded, like there was clearly like more that was being stored there, but like it has been removed. You find a few pieces, like a few like coins, like copper pieces and silver pieces, like scattered around that didn't get like evacuated with the rest of the things and got probably lodged in the wall when the chest exploded, if we're completely honest.
I might have a couple on me as well, you know.
Which dovetails with the coins that Vert found earlier. So apparently they must have had like some supply of like material treasure that they like evacuated with, in addition to whatever supplies they took from the rats. And all signs in the watery room with the dais point to there having been like some kind of significant brawl, which ultimately resulted in like several members of the cult dying. And you were not a part of that particular exchange, which is interesting, perhaps.
Okay, listen, I was kind of joking, but reading about Swarmkeeper, it's pretty dope. Listen, at level 5, I will get 3 attacks per turn. And on each of my turns, after I hit a creature with an attack, I can either make it take an additional 1d6 piercing damage, so 3d6 total piercing damage, or I can have them move up to 15 feet horizontally in the direction of my choice, so I can have them move up to 45 feet, or I can move 5 feet up to 15 feet horizontally in the direction of my choice. That's
carried about by rat friend Swarm.
That's pretty ballin'.
Nemirius would be happy to help you find your new calling in life.
Holy shit! I actually have to seriously consider this because that's pretty ballin'.
But yeah, that aside, like I'm glad that you think that's cool, but like before we get too distracted from the point,
Sorry.
what's the plan, guys? You've got a whole lot of questions now, and not a tremendous amount of answers.
So we've got lots of mummies in all sorts of fluids and stuff.
Yep.
We've had a sudden mimic door followed
Yep.
by a bunch of zombies in another room and rats, but that's besides
Yep.
the point. Exploding chests deliberately put there to murder people. There's a lot of questions.
We still have to chase up the guy that was the fucking counterfeiter. He might have answers. He might have some leads we could follow. Like this
The-
might be where they were getting some of their monetary funds from or whatever.
And I did promise Rhea I would at least try to track the people that
That came
killed
out.
the
Yeah.
dudes. Yeah.
That's true. I will also point out, in case people have forgotten, I feel like it is my duty as a game master. You did buy a Speak with Dead scroll last week.
Oh.
We did. Would that work on the guy that gets sacrificed to a god though?
Yeah, Speak with Dead works on anybody. Doesn't matter how long they're dead.
I was just thinking more if his soul's been took somewhere by the gods or whatever. Would it
It-
enough for it?
Like, it's hard to say. He definitely wasn't sacrificed in the manner of other people that have had their souls like violently extracted. Like he just seems to have been like
Oh right.
throat slit and left on the
Yeah.
floor, right? Like,
I mean that's a good shout. We could do that.
Yeah. I think Lucina has the scroll.
Yeah.
Yes, I do. Shall we use it?
Might
It's
as
up to
well.
you. Yeah.
I mean, if you guys all want to gather in here so everybody can ask questions.
Mm-hmm.
You're the only one that can ask the questions. Speak with
yeah,
Dead.
but they can provide. You could provide input.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm not a smart man.
I'm not
Yeah,
a
so-
smart man.
When you cast the spell, until the spell ends, you can ask the corpse 5 questions.
Unrelated, really
Alright.
quickly. What's something that's not a cult but seems like a cult? Jeep owners
Er-
waving at each other as they drive by.
I thought you were gonna say the Republican Party.
Oh my god.
Let's see.
I was
answer-
gonna say
It
multiple
is a
marketing
cult.
We
companies.
got CrossFit, Harry Potter.
Boulderers.
Anyway, on you.
Borf. Yeah,
All the
so
different owners.
you pull out the scroll, you read it. I think like the magic kind of like exudes out of the scroll and
Yeah.
and enters into the corpse, and the corpse kind of like lifts off the ground so that it's like floating like face up, and there's like green like light coming out of its eyes and its mouth. Let's just borrow Larian Studios like visual metaphor here. And yeah, you can ask the dead man 5 questions.
So would they be worth asking if it knows any other locations, like where these people might have went to?
You were saying something, hun?
I was just gonna ask what questions everybody wanted to ask.
Should probably figure out who he is.
Who
Is
he should
there
be
a
one of
war
them.
in
What
Bossing
happened here should be another.
So I'm hearing who are you? I'm hearing what happened here.
Vaguely distracted by dog. Whatever is wrong with her is no small matter.
Ooh, that's a good one, hun.
Yeah.
Solid question.
I don't know if that would be in the same vein of what you just asked, hun, but maybe like what's the grand plan?
Aye, what's the end game?
Yeah.
And then like what's his favourite meal?
No. How about where's the location of the next nearest cultist hideout? You know, or list off all
Yeah.
where are all the other hideouts.
But we
Yeah.
don't know if he's a cultist or if he would know that.
I guess we'll
Yeah, I
figure it
mean-
out after the first question. You
Yeah,
know?
you can ask these in sequence. I mean, I guess we can run
Probably
through the
ask
first
about the
couple.
mummies.
Yeah. So
Maybe they know something about the mummies and what's going on with them.
perhaps. Okay, so we'll start with the first question. You ask, who are you? And in that kind of like overly after affected like spirit-y voice, he lets you know that his name is Mortlock Van Thamper.
Morty.
The second question, what happened here? Let's see here. Does he? Yeah, he tells you that his brothers are okay, so what happened here is kind of a broad topic. So he's like, I was sent here to monitor the activities of this cell. My brothers, Amric and Thirstwell, sent orders to the leader of this cell to have me killed. And so they did.
Wow.
Okay, so we know he's a cultist. So
Yep.
that makes the third question relevant.
As to where the cultists are heading now that they have left, I think he tells you about there is a building in Lowtown that used to be a toy maker's shop that his mother owns, and he suspects that they would go there because it is currently unused and is registered to the Guild of Cellarers and Plumbers.
Those motherfuckers.
I don't remember. I don't remember the toy maker in Divinity 2.
Yeah,
Oh no!
that's what I was thinking
What do you
of as
mean
well.
you don't remember the Toy Maker in Divinity 2?
Let him talk, goddammit!
You don't remember the creepy bastard in the final city where we accidentally killed
Avernus.
Fair Town with Death Fog?
No.
Oh wow, you're lucky then. Oh, you know what? You weren't there for that fight. That was just me and Rydia.
What happened?
Bad things.
So the toy maker makes little puppet dolls that come to
Uh-huh.
life if you threaten the shop or the toy maker, and they are horrible little bastards that will destroy you.
Yeah.
I've never played that part of the game.
It's pretty fun.
On Cass and Shags and I's playthrough, one of those two managed to piss him off and started that fight when we were not ready for it.
Me.
Oh yeah, they will fuck your life up if you're not prepared.
Someday I need to
town.
someday I need to beat that game, but I have never gotten past like Act 1.
Oh no.
Anyway, unrelated. So yes, that is where he suspects they might be heading. And then the fourth question was, what is the cult's end game?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think he's like, that depends on who you ask. My mother hopes to gain control of the city of Baldur's Gate. The emissary from Elturel hopes to claim the souls that are Zariel's due.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Hold on. I might have to do this because Vert's not very smart. Nope. Never mind.
You just get
I
lost in
know.
thought and
Veer
then forget
doesn't
about
know.
it.
Yep. I know. Vert doesn't know.
Would I understand the reference to the souls due to Zariel?
Yeah, I mean, you can say what you're thinking, and if it would occur to somebody else, like, it's still useful, right? Like,
Okay, well, then Lucina would probably know. Isn't Vant Homper the name of the noble who created the sewer system?
That's what I was thinking. I thought it was in the one we were going to get the meeting with.
yeah. So, as an aside, you'll remember, like, the Mario brothers who were working on
Yeah.
the sewers in the basement or whatever.
That was Van
Mhm.
Tamper, wasn't it?
They are members of the guild of the guild of cellarers and plumbers. Yes, the guild of cellarers and plumbers is run by a woman named Duchess Thalamra Van Thamper. She is one of the 4 archdukes of Baldur's Gate.
Right, yeah, so I wasn't tripping. I thought I recognised the name.
So I will probably say to Lucina, we should probably take his body back to the Flaming Fists and tell them what we know. I mean, we still have one question left, but we should,
That's a good point.
Yes, and
Joke's on
given
you, that was the
all
last question, and he goes, perhaps you should, and disappear.
and so given those 4 revelations you've had already, you have a 5th question. Has your mind opened to another specific thing you would like to ask?
Are the souls that are Zariel's do something to do with the Hell Riders or whatever? 'Cause that's
Actually,
what we're after, isn't it?
actually, I've got a good question or I think I have a good question, Hannah.
I'm listening.
How do we prove that his mom is leading the cultists?
Oh.
That is a very good
Yeah.
question, because if we can get that evidence, we can turn her over to the Flaming Fist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a fucking riot though, man, because that's like a noble getting took by the like low guard, low time guard.
And another
I
one.
mean, we already had that happen before.
That wasn't a noble though. That was just like a fucking well off.
Yeah, I mean, like,
I don't know.
her
That should
her
be, like, an
family
actual
was
archduke.
like petite nobility, right?
Yeah,
Like,
that
she
should
was
be like an
she was
actual, like,
wealthy.
that should be like
Nobility
an actual
light.
leader. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nobility light.
What were you trying to say, Tiana? You had another question?
No.
Okay.
Well, no.
So yeah, what can you do to prove that his mother is
Well, it's up to Lucina.
I think instead of saying specifically mother, how can we prove that your relatives are involved with the cultists? Because his brothers are a part of it too.
And he's
Yeah.
got order the
That's-
execution.
That's why we let Lucina ask the questions, because she's the
Yeah,
smart
yeah.
one.
Yeah,
Hell
okay.
yeah.
So yeah, there's like a long pause, I think, as the spirit like tries to collect its thoughts, because its connection to the mortal plane is growing more and more tenuous. And yeah, he's like, my brother Amric deals with the guilds to smuggle refugees into the city. He then provides them with forged documentation marking out the ones that need to be killed. My brother Thirstwell remains at our family home, meddling with an infernal puzzle box that has fallen into my mother's possession. My mother deals with the heads of the cult in a hidden temple beneath our estate.
Aw,
Bah.
snap.
There you go. There's
You know what that sounds like to me, boys and girls?
Sounds like a
Sounds
raid.
like we need to get. Sounds like a raid!
Yeah.
Yeah!
Marcus, would you be able to type up those connections for me?
Yes, absolutely.
I appreciate it.
Legend.
Absolute legend.
So yeah, let's see here. Amric deals with the Thieves Guild. And arranges for refugees to be smuggled in. And yeah, like, Mortlock has definitely called out here that specific refugees are being marked to be killed.
Which explains the clearly false ones that we found. I remember that we did find some false-looking
Yeah.
documents.
Yeah.
He's the one walking on the fucking. So would he not be the Harlequin then? Is that not what it was
Yeah, I
going
mean
by?
the implication of this is that Amric must be the Harlequin, who you heard about operating out of a tavern on the docks called the Low Lantern to arrange for people to get forged documentation to be allowed to enter the city without having to go through the proper channels.
Mm-hmm. Fuck, we're getting an audience with her. Like, we're gonna have to play that cool.
Well, yeah, you were gonna try anyway.
Yeah. I mean, if that's in the family home, if we meet them there, it's a chance to get in there, I guess.
So you're saying there's a chance?
Mm.
Yeah. So there are the three the three surviving members of the family and their relative locations and roles in the conspiracy.
Trustwell is such an unfortunate name.
Yes, Thirstwell Van Thamper.
Fucking lewd.
And then yeah, as he gives you the last bit of information, like the spiritual energy like flees from his body and it collapses back onto the floor, like motionless and now lifeless, having answered the 5 questions it was obligated to answer. And you know of a location where the surviving like members of this cult cell might have fled to. You know that they specifically were told to kill this man by their brothers, and you know that the whole family is in on this conspiracy to have people murdered in the name of Zariel, but maybe their mom isn't as dedicated to the whole murder part so much as she is
She
trying
just wanted
to
power.
take over the city for her own soul like fiefdom.
Mm. Interesting.
Which does fall in line with one of the notes I believe you guys found about older Ravengard having been sent to Elturel like on purpose. So that he would get got when the city got.
I'd say we know where to look next.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go wipe out a family.
Yeah.
And perhaps
Familial
it's time to let the
genocide.
Flaming Fist know about this particular place.
Well, aye. There's a good
Yeah.
idea to take this guy to the Flaming Fist and explain what we found and shit.
Do we
And,
have
Yeah.
proof though that they will jump to? 'Cause it is a
I
noble
mean, they don't
house.
have to jump to. We can like give them this information and just let them know that if we find more, then we're expecting them to back us up or some shit.
Yeah, I mean it really depends on who you contact too, because you have a couple of like staunch allies within the Flaming Fist, right? Like remember like
We've got that
like,
Archduke as well that we're fucking setting up to like.
yeah, Duke Portier is like one of the 3 like Archduke, or one of the 3 remaining Archdukes alongside Thalamra and Duke Stelmane, and he is trying to get his niece set up to take over Ravengard's seat because
Yeah.
Ravengard is gone.
And she's the one that's in charge of the Flaming Fist, isn't it, right?
They are trying to get the Flaming Fist to follow her. There is currently a bit of a power dispute over who should be taking up the mantle of like Marshal in Ravengard's absence.
Right.
And I think for Rhea's part, she probably is just like, if these people have been responsible for murdering the refugees from Elturel, shouldn't we also find the surviving members of the cell and eliminate them as well?
Yeah.
We should.
I believe it's more effective to cut off the head of the snake.
If we can get like general locations of cells in the city, then maybe that's the places the Flaming Fist could take care of, and we could go after the like top players.
I'll just hear Veered, and I'm just like, that's all well and good, but what if there's a lot more snakes in the background?
Actually, okay, so this is a little bit metagaming, but I think Lucina would know this because she's a grave cleric, but
Sure.
you can speak with dead multiple times. We just have to wait 10 days. So,
I thought it was a scroll.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, but we could get another scroll and speak with dead again in 10 days and maybe find out locations if we were willing to, take a little bit of downtime in order to do that. I don't know how.
I mean,
I
if we
don't-
got another scroll, could we not somebody else not do it if we found an our body?
No, the
It's-
corpse itself can't be spoken with.
Yeah,
for 10 days.
you'd have to find a different corpse.
Yeah, another corpse. Yeah.
But that would, we'd have to, regardless, we'd have to finish what we're doing now. We can't just sit
Yeah.
around for
I
10
don't think
days.
I don't think it's smart leaving it 10 days and letting them do whatever they're going to do.
Yeah.
I seem to take
So, we do have to wait 10 days to do Speak with Dead again, but I just so happen to have Gentle Repose, which works for 10 days on corpses. So we can keep him preserved for the 10 days until we can talk to him again.
Yeah. Assuming you could definitely gentle repose him, assuming you need to use him again, or the Flaming Fist need to use him again if you were not like in the position to do it, right? Like, because
Yeah.
I do think Ray is like, I don't want to like push you in any particular direction because I'm not about railroading, but like I do think it is worth like considering what Ray has said, which is like just sitting around for 10 days will definitely give the cult
we don't
like
really
a
have
lot of
we don't
it'll give the
have
cult a lot
lim-
of time.
Yeah, we don't actually have a time limit on this. Like, it could happen now.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair.
So,
They might start doing something else.
I don't think we should sit around and wait to talk to him without being proactive and going after his family. So during this 10 days, we can look for evidence and start building a case against these guys and maybe take out some more cultists along the way. You know, I'm feeling kind of murder hobo-y.
Oh my god.
No, I mean, the people that deserve it is these fucking cultists.
Okay, well then how about this? Do we all definitely agree that we need to take this guy's body back to the Duke?
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
Plus the other two. They deserve to be brought back to their families.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah. The poor servants that got
dogs, yeah.
murdered. Yeah. Yeah, so I think for what it's worth, at this point, it's probably fairly easy for you to extricate yourself back out of the dungeon because you know where the traps that I hid are and all of the monsters are dead. Like, I think the work team probably evacuated the building again when stuff started exploding under the building, and so you are kind of like easily able to leave with
3
I mean,
corpses.
3 corpses, and then I guess probably have to like commandeer a wagon. Actually, people carrying 3 corpses through the town, you are probably rapidly greeted by members of the Flaming Fist
Yeah.
who demand to know what you are doing.
To which we will probably have Lucina show the emblem we have showing we're working for the Flaming Fist and explain where these have come from.
Right. And so the next scene then we cut to like the group of you in one of those little like corner side like watch like stations or whatever, and they've got you all sat down at a table and they've got like some cots that they've unfolded to put the 3 corpses on and like kind of put them in a pose of repose, and like the watch lieutenant on duty or whatever is like, okay, So let me get this straight. There's a cult lair under the bathhouse, and you found these dead bodies down there, and you were just bringing them to us as evidence?
What's so hard to understand?
Yeah, I thought we explained it pretty well.
Right. And it's at that point that like a runner like comes in from off the street, and like he kind of trots over and like walks up to the lieutenant and like whispers in his ear, and the guy like gets this really like confused look on his face, and he like looks at the runner and like he's like, "You're kidding." And the runner shakes his head, and then leans in and like whispers again, and he's like, "Huh." And then he looks back at you and he's like, "All right. I'm informed that you do in fact know the Duke and his niece, and that we should allow you to do whatever it is that you're doing. Unfortunately, he can't join you at the moment because he is currently in the process of setting up for some kind of public announcement about his grand confraternity for refugee relief, whatever that means, which is a thing that you should remember that you kind of
Yeah.
encouraged him to set up.
No bell though.
I guess he's rented a stage in the wide, and he's going to be giving a speech tomorrow.
Encouraged.
Right. I'm being generous, okay?
Threatened.
And then like the runner also like starts to leave and then turns back around and leans forward and whispers something else, and he's like, "What the fuck does that mean?" And the runner shrugs, and he's like, "I've been informed that I'm supposed to tell Vert, is it? That your bell has been delivered to your room at the inn?"
Oh, that's so wonderful! Good for you, Ver. I'm so happy.
That's the best news we've had all day.
And now you have 2 bells.
What's that guy's name? Duke Portier?
Yeah, Duke Portier.
I'll just like elbow Fear in the ribs, like, "Oh, Fear, 2 bells, now you can play in the band with me and Siani."
He's an archduke, though, right?
Wait, what?
He is an archduke. Archduke Portier.
Yeah, remember? You did the drums.
Yes.
The hand drum.
But she was not ever informed that she was part of a band.
Don't worry about it.
Ray is Josie and the Pussycatsing this.
Mm-hmm.
Consider yourself voluntold.
But yeah, so you have learned that your bell has been delivered to your room at the I think you guys were staying at the Elf Song.
Yeah.
You paid for a couple of days, so that's still there. You know about the Van Thamper family. You know about the former toy shop where the cult cell has likely fled to. You know that Amric is the one responsible for like all of the actions of the quote-unquote Harlequin down at this tavern called the Low Lantern on the docks, where he has been basically selling people illegal forged immigration documents, and you know that through him this conspiracy is connected to the Thieves Guild, which the Thieves Guild in Baldur's Gate is big, scary business. And you apparently, like, though you don't know the specifics, you know that like his family has some kind of like infernal puzzle box artifact that has fallen into their hands as well. And they mentioned something about an emissary from Elturel.
Yeah.
So you actually learned quite a bit this session. So congratulations on all of that.
Hooray.
Yay!
Now, at the end of the session, for having dealt with a multitude of traps and many zombies and a door made out of mimic, I award each member of the party 540 experience points.
Woot. That is 5670 for those keeping track.
I should hope that you are all keeping track. Boasting Baw, I think the first time ever, I am going to award one player 2 points of piety
Yeah.
for all of the bad ideas that you had that worked out pretty hilariously this session. As usual, Ray, you will get a point of piety for trying to keep everyone's mood up. Siani, you will get your point of piety for following the road where it leads you, regardless of how insane it becomes. You get your point of piety with Kellamvor, Lucina, for constantly taking care of the corpses of those around you, whether they deserve it or not. And Vert, you get your point of piety for making plans and having them spoiled, and generally
Again.
being a weirdo.
Listen. Y'all shouldn't want me to get my piety point. My piety is bad for y'all.
Oh,
Listen. 5 more piety points, and that little fiasco with Lucina and the firebolt would have been much, much different.
Lol. And then I would like for Lucina and Ray and Baw to mark inspiration for next time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And I think that is a wrap for this week.
Yeah. Trying to find
Okay.
the gods of Faerun.
Yeah,
thing that you said.
I fucked with the.
It's pinned in.
See,
No,
ship
it's not.
opening.
I did
Yes,
the
it
smart
is. I
thing, and I
opened
did.
it from that.
At the very
Wait.
top, it's pinned.
Oh,
individually.
okay.
Because
I
I was
only saw the whole
fucking
folder thing.
I was fucking with the house rule document, and
Mm-hmm.
it's not, the link doesn't work anymore. But
Yeah.
like the individual document has been pinned, and then also there's that whole
Is
folder
that-
just full of like random nonsense.
That's
Yeah,
what I
at
did.
20
Put it like in your allies and organizations, and leave a print screen there, so you can just go back to it and look.
Also,
Yeah,
I learned something super useful. So on your character sheet, what you can actually do, like I'll use Ray's as an example. Well, I mean Ray, you'll see this at least. On the settings tab, the little cogwheel at the top, there is actually a piety setting on off. If you turn it on and then go back to the front page, you will see down at the bottom a piety section has appeared.
Wait.
Oh shit!
What?
You're right.
Wait, what now?
Holy fuck! That's way better.
How?
So under the cogwheel at the top, like under
Mhm.
where like your class and stuff are next to spells, in the
Oh.
right hand column, there is down towards the bottom above the 2 little anvils for the character mancer, there is a setting called piety, and it says off or on. And if you set it to on and go back to the front page, you will see it has added a box for piety, and you can enter the name of your god, you can enter how many piety points you currently have, you can enter your earning and losing piety triggers, and whenever you reach an appropriate level to get a piety ability, it will give you a blank to put like your stuff in.
Oh boy.
That's fucking awesome.
That's awesome. Thank you.
So, just so you guys know, when I get 25 piety, anyone who rolls a 1 within 30 feet of me suddenly finds the result of their action go disastrously wrong, e.g., dropping a weapon or setting a house on fire.
Oh boy.
Yeah, and for the record, because it's like it was probably as clear as mud. The joke that I was making with the mimic door, the thing that was in its mouth and was keeping it docile, was basically just me making a reference to a Lloyd's talisman from Dark Souls.
Oh my god.
they used the little like pomander like necklace things to like make the mimic like not attack them, and they could like kind of like push it to move it out of the way. But as soon as you like set it on fire and like attacked it, it like spit the thing out, and then it was just like food and started trying to eat you.
Hold on, I'm doing piety stuff because this is cool.
It is cool.
How'd you do this? Is this just like a new thing? And
It's a new thing they just added to the character sheet recently, and I just discovered it the other day, and I was like,
That's
oh
really
fuck!
cool.
And then I was gonna go through and set it for everybody, and then I forgot because I'm a hack and a fraud.
Man, looking at this, there's a lot of times I should have lost piety.
Yeah, I should probably keep track of that better, but I am
I forgot to invite Bashaba to something once, and I very quickly rectified that situation.
Actually, you know, like, you have never failed to look on the bright side as far as I can tell, and you've not avoided any festivities that have occurred in your general vicinity. I think maybe you've lost a couple of points for letting Rhea get real mopey a couple of times, but like,
I mean, half and half. I have tried to cheer up a bit.
yeah, I mean, I feel like you always make the attempt to try, right? Which I think matters as much as anything.
I wonder if I put this to 25, and then I put this thing in here,
I don't know.
and then I put it back to 20, and then I put it back to 25. No, yeah, it'll save it. Okay, so you can go ahead and put all your stuff in there, and then so like if you change your piety to 25 and put your level 25 in, and then you go to 50 and put your level 50 in, and then you change your stuff
and then
back.
you roll it back to what you actually
Yeah.
are. It'll hide the ones you don't have.
Yeah,
That's cool.
but it won't get rid of them, so that's cool. That way we don't have to constantly remember to do it.
It's a super helpful thing that I'm glad that they added to the sheet, and
Mm-hmm.
that I'm glad that I noticed was actually there.
Mm-hmm. Me too.
But yeah, I'm super excited that like we're getting like deeper into the conspiracy part of the module now. Slightly less excited that I had to do that thing that I feel like I have to do as a game master in order to make sure that the world feels like it's real and alive and has a sense of verisimilitude, which is y'all blew a bunch of shit up in the dungeon and then left, so the people got freaked out and left, and they killed their hostage on the way out.
Yeah, that's sad, but I mean, we really didn't have a choice.
Yeah, no,
If we went down there and all those fucking zombies came out, we'd have been.
Yeah, we'd been fucked.
yeah.
Marcus and his timers.
Okay, I have a question real quick, Marcus.
Yes.
So for Kalimvor's devotee, it says you gain inspiration when you perform funerary rites. Is that upon completing a long rest, or is that like
Sorta.
instant inspiration?
Yeah, so my understanding of the way that those things are supposed to work is if you hit that trigger and you don't have inspiration, you're supposed to mark it.
So shit, you could have gotten like 8 points of inspiration in this dungeon.
Yeah. Shoot.
And
You're like an inspiration battery.
unfortunately, it's one of those things where it's like I should realistically do a better job of like tracking these things, but I have a lot on my plate, so
Marcus, you're a psychopath who runs far too many games. It's fine.
what I was going to say is I trust all of you as players to like
My God,
if you
I'm so
see
sorry.
that you
Sorry, Yuffie just said we should have put the body in a bag of holding and used the corpse as a surprise witness at a trial.
oh my god. But no, what I was gonna say is I trust you guys as players enough that like if you see that you hit your trigger to get like free inspiration or whatever from your deity, like go ahead and mark it, right? And similarly, I think I should just make this abundantly clear. If you think someone in the group is doing really good like roleplay wise or whatever, and you want to call them out for it and be like, hey, this person is doing a good job, like you can recommend that someone else in the party be given inspiration just apropos of nothing.
Sorry, I
Like,
missed what everyone was laughing about. My dad called.
What's that? People were laughing. Time for inspiration.
Oh my god.
no,
No, can you explain what you're saying about inspiration again? Because I said that Lucina's like an inspiration battery,
Yeah.
and
what I was saying is that like if you hit your piety trigger to gain inspiration and you don't have it, just like go ahead and mark it. Like I trust you enough to like not abuse that, right? Like,
With how many dead bodies we keep finding, I might end up abusing that a little bit. Not.
but I mean, like you'll always
Purposefully.
have it, and that's kind of the point of it. I feel like.
Yeah.
In the same regards, like, and you know, like I have pushed back against it. There have been a couple of times where like I've been like, if you stop to give these bodies last rites, you might get like attacked by the monsters in the dungeon or whatever, and you've done it anyway. And if there's anybody that deserves inspiration, it's the cleric who's like, no, I'm gonna give these people a proper burial, even if I do get mobbed by zombies in the process.
But no.
And like I don't know, I don't remember what yours is Amaya, but.
mine is when, despite your careful planning, everything goes horribly wrong. So I'm not going to be getting it very often.
Right, but like if
I don't know
if that
fireballs
situation-
count as that, I guess.
if that situation should happen to arise, right?
Mhm.
Like you can certainly go ahead and mark inspiration if you don't already have it, and like
Mhm.
I'll trust that you're not just like randomly giving yourself inspiration for the fuck of it. And
Yeah.
then the other thing that I was saying is like if you think people are doing a particularly good job in character or like are
Mhm.
really like enhancing your enjoyment of the session or whatever, and you think they should have inspiration and I haven't given it to them, you can suggest that. Like you can just be like, hey, I think Cass needs inspiration or whatever, and
On that note, Ray deserves inspiration for putting up with our bullshit and being a great meat shield.
Our favorite meat shield.
Yes, Rhea needs inspiration. Hold on, who's Rhea's deity?
she worships Torm.
Torm. Now I have to look that up.
I never realized this, but apparently for having 3 or more piety, my trait from Chandical is I gain inspiration whenever I set out towards a new destination.
Nice.
Well, yeah, that's fair. It's pretty good.
Yeah, so but
Think of that
basically every time you guys make a new plan and go somewhere, you should be like pre-marking inspiration.
Every time you make your way downtown, you should have inspiration.
Da-na-na-na-na-na.
Walking faster, my seagull, go fuck yourself. Da-da-da-da-da-da.
Torm. What is Torm?
Anyway,
He's
I'm gonna
a-
shut
he's a-
off the stream now so everyone can swear.